We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Matandy Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
Hey, this is Middletown's Umbrella Million number 12, and you're listening to Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Hello, Butler County High School sports enthusiasts. You're dialed in to another live radio broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Reports Radio Network. Tonight, we are at Barnitz Stadium in Middletown, where the Middies host the Hamilton Big Blue in a Greater Miami Conference contest. A pesky Middletown squad comes into this one at 1-6 overall and 0-5 in the GMC, losers of 6 straight, while Hamilton heads into this one at 3-4 overall and 1-4 in the GMC, losers of 4 out of the last 5 contests. I'm Chris Vogt. I'll be calling the shots this evening while we welcome in one of our sports writers and first-time broadcaster, Jacob Bingham. Jake, appreciate you hopping on the ride for this one this evening. Should be a fun one.
Yes, it should be a fun one. We got two teams dating back to 1912 on this rivalry.
And they coined it the Butler Bowl. Jacob, you've seen a decent amount of coverage for Hamilton this season and a lot last season. Talk about what we should expect out of the Middies and out of Coach Don Simpson, who was in his second season.
He's going to try to push the ball with Josh Bryant. He's going to feed it to him on the ground and try to open up the run with Braylon Million and Kamari Fuller. I mean, the pass with Braylon Million and Kamari Fuller. On defense, he's going to run a standard 3-4. He's got his 2 good juniors, Cameron Cooper and Cameron Jr. at linebacker. And as long as they can stay on the field a limited amount of time, this defense could be able to hold this Hamilton offense. And
Jake, we were talking a little bit before about what can separate Hamilton from where they're at right now in the bottom of the GMC, and we were talking about that offensive line. If Simpson could get that offensive line to hold its own, I'm looking at a different record for them at this part of the season.
They'll be able to, if they could do that, they can maybe build on that for next season and potentially be above the middle and right onto that second tier of the top 2 teams. They have the potential in the team. They just need the depth and the youth to grow a little bit and mature some more.
On the Hamilton side of the ball, Jake, there's no question that first-year coach Nate Mahan has the Big Blue heading in the right direction. If you'd ask him if he's got Hamilton where he wants him to be, he'd look at you and give you a firm no. But regardless, what can be said is that the Big Blue are 2 wins better than what they were last year, which that is indicative of what they've done this year so far.
That's 2 more wins and better than they are already, and they still have 3 more to go.
Right.
There's been improvement and dare I say, playoff aspiring improvement if they continue down this path.
Right. A couple names that we'd probably be calling on the Hamilton end of things, and with Quincy Sims Marshall, he'll be the general under center. You'll be calling Caleb Johnson, a sophomore running back who does a lot of the work, as well as Keyshawn Stevens, who was a junior running back. Those 3 guys on offense is probably who you're going to call in terms of seeing a little bit of offense on that end. You'll also be calling wide receiver Devon Burnett.
Yes.
Kevon Burnett. Jake, I mean, as we're getting ready to take the field here, we're roughly about, I'd say, maybe 2 minutes till we take the field up. Jake, what would be your 3 keys of the game for this contest right here?
First, the Middletown O-line. They've got to protect the quarterback, and they've got to open holes for Bryant. Bryant's got to get to that second level. He gets that second level. He's got the burst and elusiveness to take it up, make a home run. Hamilton needs to keep playing disciplined, clock managing football. They on the year they've rarely had penalties, and they really haven't had problems with turnovers. If they continue doing that, there's no reason why they can't beat this Middletown team, because those mistakes will lead to points for Middletown. And my third will be, it's actually the X factor of the game. I believe it's going to be Darian Bowling, wide receiver out of Hamilton. He leads the GMC in receiving. And if he can get loose, it's going to be great for Hamilton. And if he can get stopped for Middletown, then it's going to be it's going to help their defense out a lot.
Well, Hamilton Big Blue is wearing their white uniforms with blue trim and blue numbers. Middletown wearing their purple uniforms with white trim and their white helmets. Jake, these are very friendly uniforms in terms of if you're calling a contest. We can see numbers and we'll see the whole game.
Well, wait till the sun gets down. It's kind of hard to see Middletown numbers. I know from past experience.
Well, Hamilton is going to be kicking this bad boy off to Middletown. Hamilton moving left to right, Middletown moving from right to left.
Back to receive for Middletown is Josh Bryant, and
yeah, Jake, it looks like there's going to be a skirmish on that initial kickoff, and Hamilton kicks off to Middletown, and they're going to start this contest. Middletown's going to start this ball at the 25-yard line of Middletown. Well, I'll tell you what, Middletown enters Week 8 looking to end this 6-game skid. Hamilton hosted the Colerain Cardinals at Middletown Stadium last week. They suffered a 17-3 loss that dropped Nate Mahan's Big Blue to 3-4 on the season and 1-4 in the GMC. We're going to be looking at Kamari Fuller. He'll be playing in the shotgun mostly, Jake, and you got 4 wide receivers, 2 wide out to the right and 2 to the left. To the left of him is Josh Bryant. Snap, pass it over to the left side to Josh Bryant. An easy pursuit there from the Hamilton Big Blue on the left side.
Picking up a couple yards there on first down. That's what they're going to need to keep doing so they can third and short, limit their penalties.
A great pursuit from Dylan Lee and Luke Mattia. We'll be talking about Luke Mattia a lot. He's going to be manning that middle of the field for Hamilton Big Blue. He's their middle linebacker. Middletown going no huddle here, Jake. We'll probably see the same formation a lot there, Jake. Either 4 wide out, 3 split to the right, 1 to the left.
They're going to run a lot of spread, a little bit of option. And it's picked off, tipped.
Jake, number 3, picked off by Cameron Jr., and he's going to take that all the way down to the 16-yard line. Not the way you want to start that game, Jake, if you're Middletown.
That's when I said limit the turnovers, limit the mistakes, and they did not do that. And it put their defense in a bad spot.
Well, Kamari Fuller I'm looking at that as kind of a forced ball. It was tipped, I would say, in front of their intended receiver.
That was a forced pass, yes. He probably should have looked outside on that. That was a double coverage, and he should have looked elsewhere. But. Right.
Well, Hamilton's going to start with decent field position. Actually, not decent, great field position at the 16-yard line. If you're Nate Mahan, your smiles right now, buddy. 2 wide out to the right, looking at a pistol formation. Quincy Sim Marshall hands off to number 5, Keyshawn Stevens. Keyshawn Stevens gets himself about, I'd say, 3 yards there down to the 14-yard line.
Chris, if Hamilton keeps pounding Marshall in there like that, they're going to get it in here on his first drive.
Right. Looks like both teams are going to start out not hitting up the huddle. They're going to stay in the no-huddle offense, get the play call from the sidelines. Same formation, Jake.
Middletown slow to the line.
So we'll call second down and 7
and it's a jet sweep here to number 24.
Jaden Marshall takes that handoff, Jake, and I think we're going to lose about 5 yards there. So
that's what it looked like. It looks like we got a little penetration there in the end.
That brings it back to the 19-yard line where it's going to be third down and 13 for the Hamilton Big Blue. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. We're reaching the 10-minute mark. I'm Chris Vogt alongside Jacob Bingham. It's our first time calling the game. This will be some good stuff here. So.
I would look for a fade pass here to either Bowling or Burnett.
Yeah, I would definitely look at this point. Some separation from both of the wide receivers and the cornerbacks. Quincy Sims Marshall rolls to the right, pursued, breaks the tackle, and he's going to be sacked.
And there was a flag on a play looking like a face mask on number 3.
Yeah, number 3.
We Williams.
Yep. Tell you what, that was, I think Middletown basically had that play from the get-go. However, a face mask is going to give them, it's going to be a tricky call here because whether it's going to be a 15-yard penalty or a 5-yard penalty, Jake, it may stay third down. No, they're going to get that 5 yards, yep. So that play is going to leave Hamilton starting this third down and long play again at the 22-yard line. Yeah, Jake, if that play isn't going to be an excessive face mask, they're not going to call that a 15-yard penalty. So they'll call that a 5-yard penalty rather than that excessive.
Middletown had him sacked back there, too, to end that drive. He just unfortunate to snag that face mask on there.
Well, that gives life back to Hamilton on this third down. I'd imagine you might see the same exact play again, if not something similar.
Something similar, I would guess so.
Shotgun formation is Quincy Sims Marshall.
And he's got nobody to the wide side of the field. We're going to the short side.
Yep, and there's a toss right down the middle of number 24, Jaden Marshall.
He got it! He came up with the scoop on the ground and scored the touchdown.
Touchdown, Hamilton! That's going to be a 22-yard touchdown strike to number 24, Jaden Marshall. He beat his defenders, Jake. If I'm going to look at that play and analyze it, it was basically Jaden Marshall, just a streak pattern down the middle and inside the hash mark.
It's what it looked like to me, and he broke in through behind the safety, and perfect pass, only where his player can get it, and Jaden Marshall did his job.
Perfectly thrown ball by Quincy Sims Marshall. Here comes the extra point for Hamilton here. Kick is up, and looks like it's good. Jake, 7-0 Hamilton strikes first after an interception. You know what? If you're Hamilton, you're going to take advantage of those, aren't you?
Yes, you will. Well, 7 points off turnovers. I'll take that any day.
Hamilton up on top, 7-0. You're going to take a break here. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Matandy Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
Hey, this is Middletown Josh Bryant, and you're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Network.
Welcome back to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. I'm Chris Vogt alongside Jacob Bingham, and there's another squib kick on this kickoff from Hamilton to Middletown. And it's retired. He's going to be cut to the left side. It's number 12. Braylon Millian cuts it back, and he drakes it all the way down to the 25-yard line, Jake. That's a great start for Middletown after Hamilton took advantage of a miscue from Middletown.
The ball out of the hands of John J.C. Calhoun and Bryant, and Josh Bryant on that, because they've squibbed it the last 2 times.
You know what? That's not a bad call if you're Hamilton. Or actually, you know, any high school team, if you're trying to keep the ball out of the hands of certain players, not a bad call. But when it gets in somebody like Millian's hands,
that's a playmaker you don't want the ball in the hand of.
Right. He can also do some damage. Middletown's going to start this drive at the Hamilton 23-yard line. We're looking at 9:02 left to go in this first quarter. Hamilton up on top, 7-0. You're just tuning in. You're listening to the live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. Kamari Fuller in the shotgun. Motion man to the left. Hand off to number 5. That's Josh Bryant. Josh Bryant takes it to the left. He's going to get himself about 5 yards past the 20-yard line.
A little chippiness there after the play, but the ref left his hanky in the pocket, thankfully.
Hey, it's the Butler Bowl. It's going to happen.
What is it, 5 miles to separate these 2 schools?
Right, yep. And Jake, I mean, stemming back to this series like you were talking about before, to 1912, Middletown holds the record in this one, 36-31-3. Pistol formation is Kamari Fuller. Kamari Fuller handoff to Josh Bryant, and he gets himself, I'd say, about 4 yards on that. I'm looking at short. It's going to be a 3rd and 1, Jake.
3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, but it's manageable, and that's where they want to keep themselves in. A lot of times this year they've had problems with penalties. They've had as much as 143 yards in penalty yards in one game. So if they can manage these penalties and keep themselves in these short 3rd and shorts, they'll go for it on 4th.
That's a no-brainer. If you're Middletown at this point, I'd imagine that you probably would go 4th in that position for the rest of the season. Josh Bryant handoff to the right side, and I'm pretty sure he may be close to that 1st down marker. Either way, we may see a measurement, or they're probably going to go for it on 4th down right here, like you said.
Now, don't be surprised to see them kick it. They have 2 kickers that have kicked 40-plus in a game on their roster this year, Middletown does. So
it's nice to see a good high school field goal kicker. Hard to come by.
They are.
All right, Jake, what's Middletown going to do here? Middletown's going to call it on 4th and 1. Pistol formation is Kamari Fuller. Kamari Fuller takes it up the middle, Jake, and I'm pretty sure he may have got to the line of scrimmage, Jake. This is going to be interesting.
It looked like he made it to me.
Let's see what they're going to call. Yeah, they're pushing it, Jake. Good call.
And it's a 1st down.
This is going to be a situation where Middletown can get another 1st down, so it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
I would look to see Middletown keep feeding the monster and keep giving it to Bryant.
It's working. Handoff to Josh Bryant. Takes it to the right side.
He shakes
breaks the tackle and into the end zone. I tell you what, Jake, if you're Hamilton, fundamentals. Josh Bryant hit one of those defenders, bounced off. I think he did a spin move and took it into the right side of the end zone for a 7-yard touchdown. Middletown gets on the board.
Josh Bryant may be 5'9" and 175 pounds, but he does not go down easy. And if you do not bring him down on that first try, he will roll out of it and he will score a touchdown.
Exactly what he did here. Middletown gets on the board at 7-6. Here comes a point after touchdown by number 43, Mason Durf. Kick is up. Looks like it's good to me from here, and it's good. Into the band section. Middletown ties this bad boy up with a little under 7 minutes left to play in this first quarter. We're going to take a break. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll.
What's up? This is Hamilton Big Blue Keyshawn Stevens, and you're listening to Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. Let's get it, man.
Welcome back to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network, where the Middletown Middies bounced back after a turnover. Hamilton took advantage of that. Scores first. Now Middletown is up on the board as well, 7-7. 6:48 left to play in this first quarter. Middletown lined up kickoff. Back to return is Keyshawn Stevens, as well as Kalal Sowell. And that ball's going to travel into the end zone, and Hamilton's going to start this drive at their own 20-yard line. Around the county, Jake, Fairfield at Sycamore, Lakota East at Lakota West. We've also got Fenwick at Baden.
Baden leads 7-0 at the end of the first quarter at the moment.
Baden's going to have to look for, I'm not going to say they're going to look for a clean sweep in order to get an opportunity to get a home game, but they're wavering between that fourth and eighth position right now at this point.
Beating Fenwick will give them quite a few points to get through.
Absolutely. Quincy Sims-Marshall in the shotgun. Getting a little help from the sidelines. Nate Mahan punching some sign language from the sidelines. Caleb Johnson to the left of Marshall. Marshall tossed to the left side to Keyshawn Stevens. He takes it to the sidelines out of bounds. Looks at about 7-yard gain. A safe play. That's going to bring up second down, and we'll call that 5, maybe 6, at the 25-yard line. Yeah, Jake, just dialing down here. Middletown hasn't scored more than 21 points, and tossing up 7 points immediately in this first quarter. Promising end on their side of the ball.
Unfortunately for them, they tend to start hot and slow and cool down later in the game. Let's see if they can keep it up for 4 quarters this game.
Toss to the right side. Keyshawn Stevenson smothered by a plethora of purple.
I think Don Simpson has got his defense ready. With his background, them guys are flying to the ball. There were 7, 8 purple jerseys right around him.
Keyshawn Stevens couldn't make anything do in terms of the pursuit from Middletown, and that's going to bring the ball back to the 21-yard line where it is third down and 9 for the Hamilton Big Blue. Looks like they're going to spread this one out a little bit more here, Jake.
I would expect Mahan to do it after watching him with Middle of Miami last year. This is third and long. You're going to have to throw the ball here.
Quincy Sims-Marshall looks a little confused there. He's looking over the sidelines, drops back to pass. Yeah, home run ball to the left side and nothing going. Great defense by number 18, McGill. McGill, great coverage on Darian Bowling. And that's going to force a fourth down and 9 for Hamilton.
Middletown has responded well after that initial turnover. Flip the field. They're going to have decent field position here, and they're kicking to the best athlete on the team, Josh Bryant, back to receive the ball at midfield, standing right on the big purple M.
Well, you know, it's funny. If we were talking about trying to keep the ball out of Middletown's playmakers, I wouldn't be surprised if they try and pooch this kick to the sidelines over to the left side to get it away from them. And there's some flags.
We have some flags on the field, and looks like it's going to be an offsides on Middletown.
Nothing really hurting there. However, if Nate wanted to get a little risky, it gives him a better opportunity to go for it on fourth down. But I'm not. Well, are they going to go into They're going to go into the huddle, Jake. Watch out.
There may be a little trickery coming up here, Chris.
And they're still lining up in that punt formation. Josh Bryant scoots back a little bit more, back to his own 44-yard line. Looking at 5:50 left to play in this first quarter. I'm Chris Vogt alongside Jacob Bingham. And there's the punt. That's a nice skyrocketed punt, and the bounce does not go Hamilton's way. And that's going to bounce from one side of the 50-yard line to the other. And Middletown's going to start this ball at Hamilton's 45.
That was a 19-yard punt right there by Hamilton because of that bounce back.
Well, that's where Middletown's going to start their own at the Hamilton 45. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports, results, stories, and student-athlete features.
Hey, this is Hamilton's Darian Bowling, and you're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Welcome back to Barnitz Stadium, where it is quick pass in the middle by number 7, Kamari Fuller. That ball was intended for, Million, and that was batted down by number 22, Jeremy Alvarez. I tell you what, some of those balls were coming down low from Kamari Fuller and just not getting over the defenders.
Well, he's listed at 5'8", so he's probably the shortest player on the field at the moment.
One of his balls was intercepted and resulted in a Hamilton touchdown. Hand off to Josh Bryant. A little shake and bake. Gets himself about 8 yards.
Continuing that trend of keeping it third and short. And we have an injured Middie on the field.
Yeah, Jake, that's not a good sign if you're Middletown. One of the linemen is down. Yeah.
And on a line that's shaky already, you don't want a starter going down.
Well, we're going to let the Middletown staff attend to him while we take a quick break. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports, results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game. We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Middletown Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll.
Hey, this is Hamilton's Darian Bowling, and you're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. Kamari Fuller tosses it to the left side, and that was intended for a brilliant million. In and out of the hands, Jake. That should have been caught if you're a brilliant million. It was a valiant attempt, though.
That was a great attempt, but he should not have thrown it there. He had number 25, J.C. Calhoun, wide open over the top with nobody behind him. He had an easy 6 right there. He just had to set his feet and throw it.
That pass brings up 4th down and 2, roughly 4th down and 3 for Middletown at the Hamilton 37-yard line, and they're going to line up the punt, Jake. I think that's a smart decision. Play small ball if you're Middletown.
Try to pin them back, see what you can do. Flip the field position.
Keyshawn Beatty for Middletown.
Oh, and it is a high-skying punt with a good bounce.
Well, if you're Hamilton, you need to get out of the way there. That ball bounced at the 25-yard line. Gets a little bit of a friendly bounce for Middletown, and that's going to be down at the 17-yard line. Keyshawn Beatty, number 52, lineman for Middletown, he was helped off the field. We hope that he's all right. Not sure if we'd end up seeing him back in the game with the amount of time he stayed on the field.
I don't see him on the sidelines right now, Chris. So
he may be in the blue tent down there on the Middies sideline. You're listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. I'm Chris Vogt alongside Jacob Bingham. The Butler Bowl. Over 100 years of a rivalry.
Well, they had about a 40-year spurt where they didn't play.
Right.
It was a direct snap to Stevens, and he runs up to a seam, and he's tripped up right at the 22-hour line.
I think Stevens just saw that hole. He understood where he needed to go on that, and he picks up about 8 yards on that. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 2 at the 25-yard line. 4:45 left to go in this first quarter. And here comes Hamilton's going to go ahead and get in the huddle. Hamilton moving from left to right on your internet radio dial, however you are listening. You can listen to however you want now. You don't have to turn the knob or mess with bunny ears.
You can use your steering wheel nowadays.
Right, yeah. That's going to be a first down for Hamilton. Looked like that was
Quincy Sims Marshall, about a 6-yard run.
He kept it. I tell you what, Quincy Sims Marshall is going to run that option read style of offense. He's doing it pretty well right now.
He's been doing it well for the Big Blue all year.
Yeah, Quincy Sims Marshall is rushed for 513 yards on 111 attempts. That's 4.6 yards a carry. If you're a coach, you're down with that. He's got 9 touchdowns.
Yes, and he's got another 966 in the air with another 8 touchdowns. So he's a dual-threat quarterback that's going to be around for another year to come.
Yep. We've got a flag on the play for, it looks like, false start on Hamilton. That's going to take them back to the 25-yard line, bring up first down and 15. Try and keep you up to date with as much action going on around the county. And Talawanda is up 7-0. That's an update from Talawanda Athletic Director Wes Cole. Adam Crank with a 3-yard touchdown run.
First and 15 here for the Big Blue. They come back out of the huddle.
Two lined up to the right side. Quincy Sims Marshall takes the handoff. Tosses a great pass to the right side. And it's a hit and a fumble.
And we got a penalty flag on the field as well.
Jake, that pass was to number 22. Blake Hawkins, perfectly thrown ball. When Blake was going up the field, got crunched, and that ball popped loose, and looks like Middletown's got it.
It looks like they have it, but there might have been a flag somewhere around here with a illegal hit. They're waving the flag off.
They're picking it up. I don't know. It looked like a pretty good hit. I'm not surprised that they picked that one up. Perfectly played ball by Middletown, and they're going to get their own shot to take the lead here, and they're lined up at the 34-yard line of Hamilton.
I think he threw that flag because the player went out of bounds, and they couldn't be the first one to touch it. That may have been the reason for the flag. His head may be a little cold and didn't want to take that hat off.
Well, we had a 62-degree kickoff temperature, and it's decreased intensely at this moment.
I would not be surprised to see them take a stab to the end zone right here just to seize momentum.
Here it is. Kamari Fuller tossed down the middle. Perfectly thrown ball to Million in the middle. A slant route, and that's going to be a pickup of 15 yards. First down, Jake.
At the 20-yard line.
He split the Million had a great route. It was about a 10 and out inside the hash mark. Kamari Fuller laid it on the laser right there in front of a Hamilton defender. First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
It's looking like offensive coordinator Ross Baker's got Fuller getting the ball out of his hands a lot quicker than it was before. It's to take away from those long plays that he was getting sacked on. Bryant went right up the middle for about a 7-yard gain, marking the ball at the 16-yard line. Am I right on that, Chris?
Yeah, it's a pickup of about 7 there, so we'll bring up about second down, and we'll call that 3 or 4. Time's a ticking here, under 3 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Kamari Fuller is going to line up in the pistol formation with Josh Bryant to the left of him. Kamari Fuller rolls to the left side, nothing going, trying to find a Brilliant a Million. He gets him. Catch, first down at the 5-yard line, Jake. Tell you what, it was a great read by Kamari Fuller to bounce it to the left side.
It was an interesting play. Froze the left defensive end on that. Was able to get free just enough to give Million that pass.
First and goal for the Middies. Knocking at the door at the Hamilton 5-yard line. We're reaching the 2:30 mark of this first quarter. Hamilton and Middletown knotted at 7 in this Butler Bowl contest. It looks like we got a timeout, Jake. We're going to take a timeout ourselves. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Middletown Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics. We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Hey, this is Middletown's Umbrella Million, number 12, and you're listening to Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Butler County High School Sports Report. I want to thank Brilliant Million, Josh Bryant, Keyshawn Stevens, and Darian Bowling for sending in some audio files. It's going to be a run up the middle. Flag on the play. Nothing going there. I'd say they got about 2 yards there, Middletown did. And we're going to see what this laundry is all about, Jake.
With the direction of it's at, it's looking like a hold on Middletown.
Yeah, looks like they're going to push the yard marker back past behind the 10-yard line, back to the 15-yard line. Jake, if you're Middletown, you don't want to see that.
Nope, that's the first penalty of the game, though, and there's 2:14 left to go in the first. So,
pistol formation is Kamari Fuller. Behind him is Josh Bryant. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hand off to Josh Bryant to the left side, weaving and dodging, gets back down to the 10-yard line. That's a gain of 5. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
I believe that's 2nd and goal as well, Chris.
You're right, that's a good point. I gotta wake up. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. I'm Chris Vogt, alongside Jacob Bingham. Jacob is a first-timer up here. I'm excited to be calling his shots with him here. Kamari Fuller to the left side, toss to number 13, and that is a touchdown, Middletown!
Elijah Rockhold.
I tell you what, he's got a lot of weapons to toss to if you're Kamari Fuller, and that's one of them.
And that was a beautiful back shoulder throw. The receiver read it perfectly.
And that's going to put Middletown up 13-7, barring this extra point here, Jake. Well, I'm looking at it this way. If you're Middletown, mathematically still alive for the playoffs. It's kind of strange to say. It's really odd to say. But the kick is up and good, Jake. 14-7. Back what we were saying in terms of them being mathematically, playoff implications for them. Yeah, but if you're Middletown, you're out there on the field at this point wanting to do some role of spoiler, because Hamilton can make the playoffs in a lot easier form or fashion than Middletown at this point.
I know, I've taken it back from my high school days. When we played our rival, we wanted to win. If we knew they were making the playoffs, we definitely wanted to win.
Yep, and you're kind of seeing it right now on the Middletown end. Well, let's see if Nate Mahan in the big blue can respond here. 14-7, Middletown takes this lead. Middletown averaging, you're looking at about 10 to 12 points a game if you're Middletown. They're there already, first quarter.
Chris, you covered a lot of Hamilton games. Tell me, how do you think Nate Mahone's handling this right now over there on the sidelines?
Well, Nate's always a second half style of team, so I'd imagine that Nate would want to definitely do some digging, some analyzation of this first half, see if he can get his defense to sort of play a different format.
Well, his offenses look stagnant and stale as well. They've been pretty much stopped.
Well, if you're going to get a little bit of help from Khalil Sewell, nice return past the 30-yard line and up to the 37-yard line, and that's where Hamilton Big Blue is going to start this drive with 1:13 left to play in this first quarter.
Elijah Rockhold had a shot to get him there on the 20 and just missed him.
I mean, you're looking at a decent start. If you're Nate behind, you got to be happy about that, not starting at the 20.
I would think he might want to start mixing it up a little bit, maybe throwing the ball up, putting the ball up a little bit. He's got the most talented wide receiver in the conference. I suspect he'll start using him here soon.
1st and 10 for the Hamilton Big Blue at the 37-yard line. Pistol formation is Sims Marshall. Handoff to Caleb Johnson. Splits everybody, and nobody's going to catch him, Jake. Touchdown, Hamilton Big Blue. Wow, Jake. Wow.
And just like that, we got a tie ball game.
There it is. Well, not tie yet. We're looking at 14-13 amid this extra points. Caleb Johnson just burst through that seam. Nothing that Middletown could do. So I'm going to call that a 63-yard touchdown, John, by Caleb Johnson.
My poor math skills were taking me that long to figure it out, Chris. So,
I just kind of went off a whim there. Extra point from Hamilton Big Blue here. Snap. A little low. Hold. Gets it back up, and looks like it's good, Jake. We are tied at 14. And I tell you what, great adjustment by number 22, Blake Hawkins, on that snap. It was a little low. Got it back down on the ground and through the uprights. We're looking at a 14-14 contest here in the Butler Bowl in Middletown. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Matandy Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
What's up? This is Hamilton Big Blue Keyshawn Stevens, and you're listening to Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. Let's get it, man.
Welcome back to Barnitz Stadium, where Hamilton didn't take long at all for them to tie this bad boy up. It's 14-14 with 1:05 left to play in this first quarter. Jake, some fireworks. I mean, this is a rivalry, like you said before the break, a rivalry contest. Both teams are going to leave it out on the field. 14-14 is what we're looking at right now. Can you hear me? Big Blue lining up at the 40-yard line for this kickoff.
Let's see if they kick it deep here this time, Chris.
Yeah, we'll see what's going to go. Josh Bryant, I think you're looking at
a kick.
Squib kick. Is that Million? Million's going to grab it. Gets himself really good burst through that Hamilton Big Blue front line. And that's going to be Middletown starting this bad boy off at the 39-yard line of their own.
If Hamilton's going to give them that field position, they're going to take it all day.
Right. Well, looking at from a standpoint from Hamilton, like we were talking about before, a little bit of a stagnant offensive start, but a big play made us eat our words there.
Yeah. And I mentioned Middletown's stout linebackers. Actually, the top two tacklers in the GMC play for Hamilton, and Jade Marshall and Luke Mattia.
Hand off to Josh Bryant up the middle, and he's going to get himself 3 up to the 41-yard line. Brings up second down and about 7. I mean, Josh Bryant, like you were saying, Josh Bryant does majority of the running. Kamari Fuller does have a little bit of a dual threat option for himself, but he'll definitely prefer to hand that bad boy off to Josh Bryant, as he does there. Finds a little bit of a seam, brings it past the 45-yard line to the 47-yard line, brings it up about third down and 2 for Middletown.
Chris, you won't see many design runs for Kamari Fuller. A lot of his runs will be on scrambles and getting out, and he does take a lot of sacks. Unfortunately, he's not the quickest and most elusive of runners, but he can get away if he needs to.
He's a big boy. Hard guy to tackle.
He's a little bulldog.
Shotgun formation. Fake handoff, and there's one of his 3 keepers, and gets about 2 yards. Not going to call it, Jake, yet. I'm going to see what they're going to do here. They're probably going to call a measurement.
It's going to be a close one, regardless of how close it is. They're going to give it to him. So we got a first down here right at midfield, and that would be the end of the first quarter, folks.
14-14, Jake. We're seeing a good one here in the Butler Bowl up at Barnitz Stadium. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Matandy Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll.
Hey, this is Middletown Josh Bryant, and you're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Network.
Welcome back to Middletown, where it is 14-14 heading into the second quarter of the annual Butler Bowl. This rendition is in Middletown. Middletown switching sides here, going to start this first down play at their own 49-yard line. Hand off to number 5, Josh Bryant. Josh Bryant's going to take that ball for a 1-yard gain. Brings up second down and 9 for the Middletown Middies. Jake, we've got a score: Baden 13, Fenwick nothing, Lakota West 6, Lakota East nothing, Ross 14, Little Miami 7, New Miami 14, North College Hill 12. Fairfield 7, Sycamore nothing. Josh Bryant takes it to the right side, a little bit off the tackle, and is going to take that ball to the 46-yard line. Brings up a third down and about 5. Madison up on top of Northridge 7-0. We are here at Hamilton and Middletown here. It's 14-14. Monroe is up on top of Oakwood 14-0. They're looking to grab their first win of the season. We'll get that Edgewood Talawanda score up here in a second. Pistol formation, Kamari Fuller, fake handoff to Josh Bryant. Rolls to the left, looking for Million. Oh, down the sideline, number 25! Wow, Jake, number 25 was wide open. That was John Calhoun. And John Calhoun, I think he was looking for the ball, but I don't know if he saw it until it was actually a little bit behind him.
It wouldn't have mattered anyhow, Chris. We had an offensive lineman downfield, so we have a penalty on the play anyhow. But yes, he was wide open. It looked like either he lost it or Fuller threw the ball behind him.
Yeah, that play is not going to... Actually, it's going to be declined by Hamilton, so that's a smart move by Nate Mahan and the Big Blue contingent. 4th down and 5. They're going to call this shot. It's going to be a punt. Back to return. As I believe we're going to call that not Caleb Johnson. We're going to call that Khalil Sewell.
And I've got the Ross Little Miami score. It's 14-7 with 7:30 to go in the second quarter. And that punt was deflected.
Yeah, that punt was deflected.
It's going to roll to the 25-yard line, and Hamilton will start the drive over there.
Yeah, Jaden Marshall had a little bit of pursuit there. Bumped number 82, Michael Langendorf. Michael Langendorf was looking for a little bit of a flag action there, but they're not going to call it when that ball's tipped. So Hamilton is going to take over at their own 25-yard line. Actually, pardon me, the 25-yard line. 14-14. If you're just tuning in this Butler Bowl contest between Hamilton and Middletown, 10:39 left to play in the second quarter. Sims Marshall in a pistol formation. Behind him is Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson takes that handoff and gets to the 29-yard line. Brings up second down and 6. Those of you just turning in, it's the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. I'm Chris Vogt alongside Jacob Bingham. We had Joel Sackenheim last 2 weeks, and Joey Vogt will rejoin us in the booth next week when we travel to Monroe for Madison at Monroe. Snap. Tosses it over to the left side to Darian Bowling. Darian Bowling takes that. First down, about a 6-yard gain. Hamilton Big Blue moving the chains. Big Blue going to take this first down play at their own 36-yard line. Big Blue hurrying up to the line. 2 wide receivers to the right side. Pistol formation is Sims Marshall with Caleb Johnson to the right side.
Chris, it was mentioned to me earlier in the press box about there's been 2 or 3 games where Middletown has lost the game in the last minute of the second quarter. And that's true because I don't know if they give up or... And Caleb Johnson just broke through with a...
Healthy gain there, Jake. That's going to bring the Hamilton Big Blue into Middletown territory across the 50-yard line, moving the chains. That ball's going to be marked at the 48-yard line of Middletown. We've got a timeout on the field. Number 38 for Middletown is down. That is Zyden Duggins. Yeah. Simpson's going to go ahead and head out to see if he's all right. That's going to give us an opportunity to step aside while he gets attended. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports, results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
Hey, this is Middletown's Umbrella Million number 12, and you're listening to Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. I'm Chris Vogt alongside Jacob Bingham. Big Blue starting this first down play at the Middletown 48-yard line. Handoff to Caleb Johnson to the right side, and he is met by number 76 for Middletown, and that is somebody who's not on the roster.
These rosters were likely printed after the first game of the year, Chris.
Pistol formation, we'll call it shotgun for Quincy Sims-Marshall, and Caleb Johnson's been... if you notice, Caleb Johnson's been in this game, and Keyshawn Stevens has been on the sidelines.
I haven't seen him in a series or two. I don't know if it's injury or doghouse.
Handoff up the middle, and that's going to be Caleb Johnson carrying just about everybody with him for about, we'll call that a 6-yard gain, bringing up third down and about 3 at the Middletown 41-yard line.
He was hit and met at the 45-yard line and carried everybody for 4 yards to bring up that 3rd and 2.
We need to look up on the GNC and see if there's stats, yards after first contact. Reaching the 8-minute mark of this second quarter, 14-14 in the Butler Bowl. 2 wide receivers, one to the right, one to the left. Behind Sims-Marshall is Caleb Johnson. He takes it again. Keyshawn Stevens is back in, Jacob. He gets himself a first down for Hamilton, pushing the chains at the 37-yard line. There he was. Just ask where he's at, and he comes back in.
You assume anything, you know what happens.
There it is. Right. Tell you what, Mahan's been doing a decent job of keeping both backs
rotated in.
Yeah,
fresh.
doing their thing, right.
Trying to wear down this Midi defense. I know Simpson really wants to stop right here.
Darian Bowling spread to the right along with Jaden Marshall. Keyshawn Stephens to the left of Sims-Marshall, and Marshall's going to get that handoff and gets about a yard on that, Jake, if that.
They're going to give him a yard on that, but...
Might be generous.
They're being pretty generous.
Middletown had that sniffed out. That looked like a little bit of an end around to Marshall. Marshall didn't have anything going on there, and that's going to be lined up at the 35-yard line for the 2nd down and 9 play for Hamilton. Reaching the 7-minute mark of this second quarter. Quincy Sims-Marshall in the pistol formation. Behind him is Keyshawn Stevens. Keyshawn Stevens gets a fake handoff, rolls to the right side. Is Sims-Marshall to the right side?
That is an interception by number 10, Kelvin Shealy.
It was beautifully read, Jake. I think Sims-Marshall tried to force that in there. That was for Million. Pardon me, it was for Darian Bowling. Yeah, Bowling went up with him, but right into Middletown's hands. Perfect formation by by Sheely. And Jake, you said number 10 was your number, man. They're all making plays, right?
It seems like every time I got a roster, I have to look at who wears number 10, and I never forget their name.
Well, if they're anything like you were in high school, they're making plays.
No, they're actually playing.
Middletown gets this ball. They're going to start this possession after the interception at their own 8-yard line. Handoff to Josh Bryant up the middle. He's going to get about 3 yards there. That's going to bring up second down in about 7 or 6. We'll call that at the 10-yard line. 6:30 left to play in the first half. Pardon me.
The problem for Middletown has been winning the turnover battle, and I believe right now they're winning it 2-1. If my stats aren't wrong. His only year at Princeton, Don Simpson actually led the conference in turnovers with 20, and that was a school record for them, Princeton. And I think you're starting to see some of his style come together for this team right now.
Hey, I tell you what, if you're Middletown, you want to be in that position to where you're wanting to play at your peak at the end of the season. You're looking at 1-6 right now in your Middletown, and I'm pretty sure that's all you're looking for if you're Don Simpson. That was the first down for the Middletown Middies, and that brings the ball to the 19-yard line of Middletown. A lot of wide receivers out there for Middletown. 3 split out to the right, 1 to the left. That's a toss. That's a quick pass to the right sideline to Josh Bryant. He's gone, Jake! Nobody's going to catch him unless it is 24.
Jaden Marshall.
Yeah,
Jaden Marshall was able to take the right pursuit route and stop him, but not before he sauntered off for about 45, 50 yards there, Chris.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Josh Bryant's looking for a breather right now because I tell you what, if Marshall wasn't there, it would have been another 30 yards he would have had to run for that score. That crosses midfield. That brings the ball to the 35-yard line for Middletown with under 6 minutes left to play in this second quarter. 14-14 if you're just tuning into this Butler Bowl contest.
47-yard pass, Chris. Took me that long to do the math again.
Good call. Kamari Fuller.
To Shaw Keys Thomas, the backup to Josh Bryant.
Yeah, give him a little bit of a breather out there. He was asking for it, and Thomas gets about 3 or 4 yards. I'll tell you what, if you're running in that pistol formation, it looks like it's a little more of a read option from the pistol formation. Getting 3-4 yards, the coach wouldn't be too mad about that.
I mean, it's you're spreading the field, but you're still playing Woody Hayes football. 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Hand off to Thomas again, but Mattia was there to wrap him up, but not after he gets another 3 yards. Jake pushes that inside the 30-yard line to the 29.
This will be 2-down territory here for Middletown. They're wanting to put points on the board, and they want to put big points on the board.
You know,
they would really like to come in here, punch it in, stop Hamilton on a 3-and-out, and score right before the half because Hamilton does get the ball to come start the second half.
Brings up 3rd down and 4 at the 29-yard line for Middletown.
Brian has checked back in.
Yeah, he said, just give me 2 plays, I'm good. Well, Thomas was able to get them 6 yards on that breather, and it gives to Bryant. Bryant has nothing going for him, but there's a flag on the play as he's wrapped up by number 44, and that is somebody who's not on the roster, Jake. I think they're going to call holding on Middletown. Oh, no, face mask maybe. I'm seeing some signal from the Middletown players. We're going to wait for this call here.
Body language is leaning towards the home team on this, Chris. We got a personal foul, face mask.
Head referee Mark Ivey, he ends up saying face mask, and that's going to bring up a 1st down for the Middletown Middies. Pushes it way down the field, Jake, to the 19-yard line, and that's where Middletown will take this 1st down opportunity. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Josh Bryant behind Kamari Fuller. Hand off to Josh Bryant, and nothing going. Pushed out of bounds on the right side. I'm going to call that about a 3-yard loss, Jake.
Looks like they're marking it off as...
oh, no, he got a two-yard gain. Pardon me. Very deceiving. Either I need to go back to lens crafters. We're reaching under the 4-minute mark here. Two wide receivers out to the left side, one to the right. Kamari Fuller in the shotgun with Josh Bryant. Kamari Fuller looking to the left side, rolls to the right side, getting pursued, tosses it in the end zone, and it's just past his intended receiver. Number 19, that was Aaron Mays, Jake. Yeah, it's going to bring up third down. It's going to bring up third down and third down and 2 on that.
I got nothing. Delay the game.
Yeah, it's going to be a delay of game on Middletown.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's going to push it back to the 18-yard line. Yeah, we'll call it at the 18-yard line, third down and 13 for Middletown. Kamari Fuller gets that shotgun, hands it off to Josh Bryant. And I tell you what, Jake, Josh Bryant not able to do next to nothing on this set of downs. Hamilton's reading him really, really well.
Well, but they got in there and they condensed the field and were able to spread him out and get the tackle. I'm kind of shocked that Simpson didn't at least try to put the ball up there one more time. I mean, with a third and long like that, I'd have been trying to go for the touchdown at least, you know.
Well, I don't know if you're going to pinpoint it with those last couple play calls, but looks like Middletown was obviously lining up for...
And it's looking like they're going to have to burn a timeout.
Yep.
Oh, nope. We have got a lineman running on the field, and we do have a timeout, Middletown.
Yeah, it looks like there wasn't enough people on the line for Middletown. Burned up. I think that's a smart timeout because they're going to line up for this field goal. J.C. Calhoun's going to look to kick this one. And I tell you what, no, pardon me, not J.C. Calhoun.
Mason Durst.
Yeah, Mason Durst's going to line to kick this off. It's going to be a decent field goal at the high school level. We're going to call it, I'd say, about a 35-yard field goal attempt. But I tell you what.
I know that Durst does have the leg to get this.
I'm thinking if you're Middletown, you're going to want to go into the half at least up on top. At least an opportunity for you to go up on top and play some defense.
I mean, outside of a couple big plays, their defense has played really well in this first half. And, you know, get the lead, hand it back over to your defense, and try to start the second half off the same way.
Mason Durst kick is going to be from the 25-yard line. Snap, kick is up, and he got it, Jake. It's good.
Like he got it.
35-yard boot puts Middletown up 17-14. And if you're Don Simpson, that's what you were looking for. We're going to take a break. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Matandi Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
Hey, this is Hamilton's Darian Bowling, and you're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Welcome back to Barnitz Stadium, where it is 17-14. Middletown on top after a 35-yard field goal separates this contest. We're sitting at 14-14 and 7-7 for most of this. We're sitting at a tie ball game for most of this first half. 2:41 left to play in the second quarter. Hamilton's going to have an opportunity to return this ball. Number 6, Khalil Sowell, he brings it up across the 20-yard line, and then Hamilton's going to start at the 21-yard line here. Let's see what Mahan's going to spruce up here on what would ideally be a final drive.
You know he can't be happy about these turnovers, and you know that they're going to try to. They don't want another turnover here.
Well, Middletown has 2 timeouts left. Hamilton has 3. Yeah, they have all 3, so they have a lot of room to work with if you're looking for a stoppage in play.
Got 80 yards to go.
Yep. 2 wide receivers spread out to the left side. Pistol formation. Hand off to Keyshawn Stevens, and he's wrapped up. He just got past the line of scrimmage. I don't even think he saw number 81. I don't think he saw number 81, Jaden Burks. Yeah, I don't think he saw Burks. He's kind of to the left of him, and as he ran by him, Jaden Burks just wrapped him up and brought him down.
It looked like an old school a triple option read where he just missed the end read.
Brings up 2nd down and 9 at the 23-yard line. Mahan calling the play into Sims Marshall. Caleb Johnson is in. Looks like Keyshawn Stevens is on the sidelines for this one. Caleb Johnson has the seam, and he brings it across the 20, 30, 40, and 50. He hits the 50-yard line, and that's going to be about a 20-yard gain. Jake?
That was Kelvin Sheely with a shoestring touchdown-saving tackle right there at midfield. Otherwise, Caleb Johnson is gone.
Gone, right. Putting that ball at the 50-yard line. Exactly 50 yards to go for Hamilton if they want to either A, take this lead, or put them in a position to tie this ball game up at 17-17. But right now, it's Middletown up on top, 17-14. 2 wide receivers spread to the right, 2 to the left. Sims Marshall takes that snap, tosses it to the right, and great.
That is Josh Bryant out there
playing a little defense there, huh?
Well, he is listed as a DB as well, so. It looks like he's lined up one-on-one. Yep.
That pass is intended for Bowling on the right side.
And they have moved Bowling over here to the left side to get him away from Josh Bryant.
That's exactly what he did. Shotgun formation to the right of Sims Marshall with Blake Hawkins. Talent all over the field for Hamilton. Tosses it over to the left side. Hits. That was a button cut right over to Darian Bowling, who gets a first down. That's going to be about a 15-yard gain. Perfectly thrown ball by Quincy Sims Marshall to a button hook.
Shaquille Thomas just could not get there. He was just a little behind it.
Yeah, Darian Bowling, he pointed to Quincy Sims Marshall and said, that's a heck of a pass. It's a big league pass right there.
Chain mover, clock stopper.
Yep, chain will actually move like you said, and I don't think we're going to see the clock start because he's out of bounds. Yeah, pursuit. Quincy Sims Marshall has a little bit of running room and gets himself about 7 yards. Steps out of bounds, stops the clock. This is what you want to do if you're big.
Looked like that was Cameron Cooper came right up the middle, and Sims Marshall was able to avoid him and get that 5-yard gain, as well as get out of bounds and save the timeouts. Sitting right here about the 30-yard line.
So if you're Big Blue, you might be able to operate in the middle of the field, but strategically for them, it's just been working out for them to be able to get out of bounds and save some of those timeouts. 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Quincy Sims Marshall in the shotgun. To the right of him is Alvarez. Hand off to Keyshawn Stevens. Yep.
Looking real close to another first down for Big Blue.
I think that's going to push the chains. Well, if you're Big Blue, would you kind of hurry right now, or if you're Mahan, would you call a timeout and say let's recoup? But they're going to continue right here. 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Alvarez to the right of Sims Marshall.
I think Mahan's in his element right now. He likes his hurry up.
Here it comes. Sims Marshall back to pass. Number 24 is in the corner of the end zone, and I think that was a little bit of an overthrow to number 24, Jaden Marshall. Had him there if he did have him a little bit of, this way and that way on that pass.
And it looked like he was trying to go over the middle, and it looks like Sims Marshall was going for the post.
It's all right. Time stopped. You're looking at 2nd down and 10 at the Middletown 25. Middletown trying to get themselves a little bit of momentum as we exit this first half. Hand off to Caleb Johnson to the right side, and beautiful open field tackle on the right side.
And my old eyes cannot see that.
I think that was Elijah Rockhold on that tackle.
Sounds like the coaches up top are not happy about that play. We can hear them banging on top of the press box, folks. And we have a timeout, Hamilton.
Yeah, it's a good timeout by Mahan in the Big Blue. We're going to step aside. We're looking at 39 seconds left to go in this first half. Big Blue trailing Middletown 17-14. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game. We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Middletown Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Burt's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
What's up? This is Hamilton Big Blue Keyshawn Stevens, and you're listening to Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. Let's get it, man.
Welcome back to Barnitz Stadium, where it is Middletown up on top of Hamilton, 17-14, 39 seconds left to play in the first half. 3rd down and 3. Big play for Hamilton Big Blue. Oh, there's a flag on the play, Jake. Let's see what's going on here as they...
Looks like 12 men on the field.
Oh, no. 12 men on the field after a timeout.
That is not going to please Nate Mahan going into halftime, coming out of the timeout like you mentioned.
Well,
that is inexplicable.
Somebody runs off the field.
Looks like 24 Jaden Marshall.
That moves it back to the 23-yard line. 3rd down and 7 for Hamilton. Darian Bowling split to the left side. Keyshawn Stevens to the right side. He's coming in motion across the line. Now we've got 2 wide receivers to the left. Hand off to Caleb Johnson and gets a bounce. He's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Gets himself about 6 yards. That brings that ball to the 16-yard line.
It's a 4th and 2.
Timeout Hamilton, Jake. Yeah, timeout, Jake. Timeout, Mahan. We're going to see what he's going to dial up, what he's going to do. It should be interesting on this 4th and 2 call at the Middletown 16. We're going to step aside. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
Hey, this is Middletown Josh Bryant, and you're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Network.
17-14, Middletown up on top of Hamilton here in this Butler Bowl 2019 rendition. 4th down and 2 for Hamilton. Out of the timeout, Jake. What do you think Mahan's going to do here? It looks like they're going for it.
Well, right before we went to that timeout, I saw the kicker just walking around back on the sidelines, and I had a feeling Mahan he's going to gamble a little bit. And he wants to get the lead going into halftime.
Now we've got Caleb Johnson and Keyshawn Stevens back there. Sims Marshall is on the sideline. So let's see what happens here. Stevens takes it and gets himself a good hole up the middle. No-brainer on that one. Nice little hole for Hamilton. And Keyshawn Stevens gets himself a 7-yard gain inside the 10. First and goal at the 7-yard line. It's a good call. You might as well keep him out there if you're Mahan. Keep on going. 22 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Keyshawn Stevens takes it himself, bounces it to the right side. He bumps out of bounds. Bumps him out of bounds about the 3-yard line. 13 seconds left to play. Wow, this is going to be some interesting stuff as we approach the gun here. Yeah, Mahan does have one timeout left to spare here. And looking like, I'd say, max 3 plays if you're going to do a little bit of passing. And you also got to remember that you've got a timeout left here. 17-14, Middletown up on top. Here comes this 2nd down and 3 play. Keeper by Keyshawn Stevens. He's at the middle and he barrels through there for the touchdown. Hamilton gets themselves on the board before the half and takes the lead 20-17. Perfectly operated drive to close this first half out.
That was a perfect execution of the 2-minute warning. And they did a good job. They get that big chunk play down here earlier and he took it to midfield, and they did what Mahan wanted them to do. Go in and get the lead at halftime. They get the ball coming out.
David Martinez with this point after try. We'll see what happens here. Snap, kick, up, and looks good from here, and it is. 21-17, Big Blue takes the lead. Like we were talking about, Mahan executed a perfectly play-called drive there. Beautiful formation in terms of execution with keeping Quincy Sims-Marshall on the sidelines and allowing Caleb Johnson and Keyshawn Stevens to kind of keep Middletown on edge there.
Well, what was it they say? You put your fastest players and put them in space?
Yep.
That's what he did on both of that, and you don't know which one to take because they're both going to outrun you.
It's a no-brainer there. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. I'm Chris Vogt alongside Jacob Bingham. 21-17 if you're just tuning in here. Hamilton just took the lead. 9 seconds left to play before we hit the halftime break. We'll get some halftime stats, some halftime analysis, do the best we can to pinpoint exactly what we saw in this first 24 minutes of the Butler Bowl here at Barnitz Stadium. I want to thank Athletic Director J.D. Faust. Appreciate the hospitality. Going to grab us a little bit of bite to eat at halftime. Some great parking. Parked right behind the press box. Didn't have to move too far. Can't say thanks enough to the Middletown athletic staff.
Having been here so often, I can tell you they take really good care of the media and the press here. And I'm appreciative of it.
Well, you go home with a full stomach, Jake. Of course you are.
Aren't we all happy on a full stomach, though, Chris?
Then we get to see some good football. That's it. A squib kick for Hamilton, and that's recovered by number 13, Elijah Rockhold. And that's going to be, let's see, that's a short kick, a short field position for Middletown, but not much time left for them to do some damage here as 8 seconds left on the clock. And they'll take this drive. I don't know, if you're Middletown, you might want to just take a knee, take it into the half.
I'm a gambler, though, Chris, and like Mahan did earlier on 4th down, you got about 62 yards to the end zone, 8 seconds left in the half. You're down by 4 points at home on senior night. I'm going for it.
Well, maybe you see a little, maybe a down and out, hit the sidelines, and then maybe I don't know how far Kamari Fuller can toss this ball, but, you know.
I've seen him throw 60-yard passes, so they're giving him a cushion, so.
I don't know if they're going to give that a legal formation or not, but number 13, Elijah Rockwell, just came onto the field. Here comes 4 wide receivers. Kamari Fuller drops back to pass. Luke Mattia is going to give him a little bit of pressure. Tosses it to the right side to number 19, Aaron Mays. And I think, I don't know, he might have been, he caught that.
It looked like it was ruled incomplete, but the referee that was ruling it incomplete hit his hand on a Middletown helmet. And he is currently nursing his right arm on the
Well,
40-yard
you know
line.
what's funny is I was looking at him. It looked like he was calling it a catch, but he was actually hurt. Oh, man.
I've watched hand-hit helmet. I knew that had to hurt.
Doggone. 3rd down and 10 at the Middletown 38-yard line. Yeah, Kamari Poole had a bad snap there. He took a knee there.
And that's going to conclude our first half festivities, folks.
Yeah. I saw flashes of Hamilton grabbing that ball and running it back to close out the first half. But Kamari Fuller takes a kneel. It's 21-17 at the half. Hamilton up on top. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. We're going to have some halftime analysis, grab some stats, maybe grab a bite to eat. So you hang in there. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Matandi Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports, results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game. We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Matandi Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Matandi Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll. And most importantly, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
Hey, this is Middletown Josh Bryant. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Network.
Welcome back to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. I'm Chris Vogt alongside Jacob Bingham. We're at the half. It's 21-17. We've got roughly about 12 minutes left until the second half kickoff begins. Jake, we're looking at, first half. You saw Hamilton riding the struggle bus there, but one big play is all they needed to get back in this game, and now they're up on top, 21-17.
I mean, if you're Nate Mahone, you got to be happy. Or Nate Mahon, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names, but you got to be happy with that performance there right at the end of the first half. They struggled early on there, right about the second quarter with a couple turnovers, with the kind of gifting Middletown with some great field position, and Middletown capitalized. But yes, perfecting. I think 2:46 were left when they took over the ball, and they scored with 9 seconds left in the half. That's executing good time management right there.
Yeah, one of the toughest things to do while you're doing a broadcast is keep some stats for yourself, but you can only go by memorization. But no, Middletown got on the board first. Went up on top 7-0.
No, Hamilton got on board.
Hamilton went up on top first 7-0. Middletown responded, looking at 21-17.
They traded touchdowns there
right.
for the better part of the first half.
Looking around the county here, Lakota West is up on top of Lakota East 9-0. New Miami looking to go 8-0 for the first time in school history, 27-12 over North College Hill. Little Miami and Ross in a juggernaut here at halftime. It's 21-14. Madison looking to keep their playoff hopes alive with the win over Northridge. And this win, if Madison can keep it up there, it's 13-0 at the half over Northridge. If they can keep that up, that's going to be some really good points in terms of their playoff implications there. Baden is up on top of Fenwick, 27-0. Jake, I'm telling you what, if you would have seen Baden in the first two contests, Mick Yorty basically said, we need to do some major adjustments. And then they reeled off 4 straight, and you're looking at a 5-2 record heading into this contest, and now they're whooping up on Fenwick. Tell you what, 27-0 here. 17-3 Fairfield over Sycamore. I don't know if you would have coined that as a contest where Fairfield was going to end up taking care of Sycamore. I don't know if you would be able to actually pinpoint that Fairfield would take care of Sycamore as easily as what maybe people would think, but 17-3 at the half may have sounded about right.
Yeah, I would say that's fair. Sycamore's tough defensively. They've shown that in the past, and to be honest with you, Fairfield has been kind of a second-half team this year, so I fully expect for them to pull away on that one, but you never know. It's the GMC. They don't call it the Grown Man's Conference for nothing.
That's a good point. Well, Monroe looking for their first win of the season there, 0-7. Head coach Bob Mullins taking over the program, basically looking at you're basically putting together something from scratch. You know, a young program. Bob Mullins knows what he wants to do with them. It's just a matter of getting them in a position for them to win games. And they're looking at it right now, 21-0 over Oakwood, so good for them.
Well, we're watching 2 young programs go at it tonight, so.
And I tell you what Nate Mahan's been able to do for Hamilton, you can't rave enough regarding what he was able to, basically take everything on his shoulders, make sure that his young players are executing correctly, and we're looking at a 4-3 team. Is Hamilton.
Outside of probably Kenyon Commons over at Ross and Bolden over at Lakota West, I don't know the coach has done better in the county this year with their football team as far as rebounding from a down season or a not-so-good season.
Just covering sports within this area, I've never seen so much turnover in terms of 5 coaches in the Butler County area. 5 teams in the Butler County area saw new coaches. So a lot of shifting, a lot of rotation, and a lot of recouping for some of these teams. Edgewood and Talawanda. Edgewood is up on top of Talawanda. That's another one of those contests where you throw out all the numbers, all the stats, all the records. It's a SWAC Butler County rivalry contest, 20-14. Edgewood up on Talawanda. Quite frankly, if you look at it this way, Talawanda may have to win out to give themselves an opportunity to get into the postseason. And Edgewood put a little bit of a stymie on that one.
They hit a little bit of a wall there right about mid-season, and that's about the same time that Edgewood started to put it back on. So it's making this contest real interesting, and that score is proving it.
Well, we're looking at 21-14 at the half. Hamilton is up on top of Middletown. We've got about 7 minutes till kickoff. We're going to say hey to some of our sponsors. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Matandi Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports, results, stories, and student athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game. We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Matandy Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
Hey, this is Middletown's Umbrella Million number 12, and you're listening to Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. I'm Chris Vogt, joined by Jacob Bingham, a first-timer up here. When you're doing a broadcast, it's a lot different when you see it from that point of view rather from the actual writer's point of view. It's definitely a different scene.
It's difficult, and it's taking a little bit of an adjustment, and I'm going to keep stuttering, so be prepared for the second half.
You know, because we are pros. So
yes, we are.
We got about 3:20 left to play, or actually, no, left to play in halftime. The Middletown band is putting on a fantastic performance. So mad props to them on senior night. I'll run down some of the seniors on the Middletown roster. Deion Brown, we got Earl Nelson III, Chick Fall, Kelvin Sheely, Chuckways Thomas, and Abrillion Million, just to name a few there. Darius Thomas, all kinds of seniors making themselves known here. King Bussey,
Kyler McGill, Aaron Mays, Trey Calhoun, Dylan Brennan, Clayton Moore, Angel Rivera, Malik Anderson, Chris Richardson, Chris Holbrook, Sebastian Sharp, Chris Sanders, Jaden Burks, and Michael Langendorf.
Want to give them a plug. Congratulations to those seniors. Want to wish them a fantastic rest of the season and a healthy rest of the season as well.
Excuse me for interrupting, Chris.
No, I'm glad you did. Athletic Director J.D. Faust had those seniors all lined up, and I was looking in the wrong category. 21-17, Hamilton Big Blue is up on top of Middletown. We'll be set to kick off here shortly as Middletown is going to exit the field. Jake, just trying to pinpoint exactly what we saw in the first half. It's back and forth. I think it's going to be one of those things where whoever has the ball last is going to possibly be the winner.
I think it's going to be this first drive coming out from Hamilton. I think it's going to be really indicative of how this half is going to go. If they can come out and put some points up on the board, specifically a touchdown, and take a double-digit lead, kicking back to the home team, it's going to be very hard because Middletown, they haven't shown a whole lot of explosiveness out of the air. It's more coming from the ground game than anything, and I know that Nate Mahan's going to have his guys out here ready. I know he's not happy about how they're running the ball against him.
Right, well, and I'm also looking at it this way, and I think we hit that at the beginning of the game where in terms of Middletown's second half, it's one of those things where you won't want to say that Middletown folds, but it's just Middletown isn't one of those teams that just hangs around.
No, usually it's that they're just tired.
Right.
The defense is tired at the end of the game. If the offense can, get more than just 3 and outs, if they could they don't have to score, but get the ball to midfield, flip the field position, and they did that in the first half. If they can continue doing that here in the second half, like you said, it could come down to who has the ball last or who has the better kicker.
We're going to try and grab some scores here from around the county. A lot of interesting situations are brewing here. Lakota West is up on top of Lakota East 9-0. you know, what's crazy is that you're looking at a Lakota East team that looks at their triple option offense, and from the looks of it, it's Lakota West saying no can do on that. So they're doing a fantastic job of making sure that they're stopping.
And that game is important to this Hamilton Big Blue team because they play Lakota East later, and Lakota East is currently ranked ahead of them at the most recent playoff projections. And then when they finish the season, next week Hamilton has Sycamore at home on senior night. Then they travel to Lakota East. Both teams are ahead of them in the playoff projections. Sycamore losing tonight doesn't really help them, and believe it or not, tonight's win is only going to give them, from what I read from Joel Sackett, 6.5 points. So let me plug Joel again there on that for 6.5 points, and it's going to counterbalance it with the fact that Mason's going to get 6.5. So that Lakota East and Sycamore games, they could be very clear, give you a better, clearer picture of how Hamilton's going to look going into Week 9.
I'm looking at that Week 10 game between Lakota East and Hamilton. I'd imagine that couldn't be more of a bigger game for both programs if Hamilton sets themselves up for a. I would be looking at a 6-3, 5-3 opportunity for them to go up against Lakota East there.
That'd be 6-3.
6-3, pardon me. Yeah, 6-3. Well, 9-0 is Lakota West over Lakota East. Baden 27, Fenwick nothing. That is in the start of the third quarter. Ross and Little Miami are tied up, 21-21. New Miami 27, North College Hill 27-12. New Miami is up on top of North College Hill at the half. Another big contest for New Miami. New Miami, if you're a fan of New Miami, we were talking about this last week. If New Miami fans are looking at this, well, how come New Miami is 8-0? Well, they were 7-0 last week. They won to go 7-0, and then they end up dropping back down from the first ranking down to the second ranking. Well, that's because New Miami's schedule isn't really as friendly in terms of giving them points as a lot of the Division 7 Region 28 programs.
I believe Joel spoke about that last week about the possibility of them flip-flopping for the rest of the season until you get to that very last week on Week 10.
Right.
But nonetheless, New Miami is pretty much went out, and you're guaranteed at least the top 2 spot.
Right.
And what is that, Region 16?
Yep. So we're looking, pardon me, Region 28, Division 7. 28. Yeah, Madison is up on top of Northridge. Madison defeats Northridge. That's going to give them plenty of points to put them into an opportunity to grab at least an opportunity for their chances to grab a playoff spot to make those even better.
And you know they've got that Final Four pegged down for Willersburg, knocking them out of the playoffs 2 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's what's on their minds.
Absolutely. And trust us, we've been keeping up with that situation for a while there. Fairfield 17, Sycamore 3 at the half. And like we said before, we are here at the Butler Bowl at Barnitz Stadium. 21-17 is Hamilton. Monroe on top of Oakwood, 21-0. That's the start of the third quarter. Edgewood and Talawanda is 20-14, and that gives you the wrap up for halftime. We're about to start here at Barnitz Stadium. I'm trying to figure out what Butler Bowl this is, but this is, I'm pretty sure that we're looking at over 60 Butler Bowls here. Middletown's got the upper hand advantage in terms of the series. We were talking about it before. Hamilton's going to be returning this second half kickoff after Hamilton ended up going up on top, 21-17. A huge possession to close out the first half for Mahan and Big Blue and company. Doing the kicking honors is Middletown, moving from left to right, and then Hamilton is going to grab this opening kickoff, and we'll be moving from right to left on your device. All right, Jake, let's see what both of these programs can put together. Some halftime adjustments. If you're Mahan, plug away at this next drive here and get themselves a two possession game.
I know that Mahan's going to be harping on the turnovers, and even though they haven't been penalized that much, a football coach is always going to harp on the penalties. that was probably two of the biggest things he talked about to his kids and going into the half was just the bad mistakes and holding on to the football.
Well, I think you're looking at a couple things. Number one, eliminate mistakes and turnovers. That's the obvious thing. And if you're going to win in the trenches, Big Blue showed that they won in the trenches on that last drive to go up 21-17. Big Blue starting this drive to start the third quarter at their own 20-yard line. We're going to call the same formation basically every time. 2 wide receivers to the left. Quincy Sims-Marshall in the pistol formation along with Keyshawn. Oh, no, pardon me. That's Caleb Johnson. And Caleb Johnson smothered by a plethora of Middletown Middies behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking like the Middies come out of half with a little piss in their vinegar.
A little firepower there, huh?
They flew to the ball on that one. Giving about a 2nd and 14 for Hamilton here.
Yep, they're going to be at their own 16-yard line is Hamilton. Getting the play call is Quincy Sims-Marshall. He's going to bark out some cadence here. 2 wide receivers to the left side. Hand off to Caleb Johnson. Barrels through there. Gets a couple yards there. Had a seam. Tackled not after a 7-yard gain.
Bringing up a 3rd and manageable situation here for Hamilton.
Yeah.
Look at about a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7.5-ish.
Well, wouldn't be surprised if we see a pass situation for Mahan in Big Blue. Coming in is Jaden Marshall. When you see Jaden Marshall come in, that's a telltale sign that you may see a pass here. Out of the backfield in motion is Keyshawn Stevens, but number 26, that is Richardson on the tackle, pushes him out of bounds for only a 2-yard gain. Beautifully read by Richardson.
That was a great defense. As a former corner myself, he read that perfectly, tackled him the way you're supposed to, and drove him out of bounds, forced the 4th down. Punt teams are on you.
Yeah, you called it. Punt formation is Hamilton. Back to return is playmaker Josh Bryant for Middletown. He's standing at the 50-yard line. I've got my hoodie on, Jay. Not my hoodie, but my hat and jacket on. You got your jacket.
My bald head is cold at the moment. I left mine in the car.
Punt to Josh Bryant. I don't know if that hit his hands or not, but they're going to call it a fumble, and it's recovered by number 4, Dylan Lee, for Hamilton.
It did not look like it touched his hands there, Chris.
Josh Bryant's arguing that it did not hit his hands. Don Simpson's standing at the M. They're giving it to Hamilton.
Simpson is not happy, and they have just thrown a sideline warning flag on Don Simpson.
Well, he was getting ready to go into the huddle with Middletown. I don't know, Jake, if he's got an argument on that, I'd be furious too.
Well, he's got a captain out there, Kevin Shealy, telling his coach, "Calm down, we got you, coach." Let's see what Middletown does right here. See if they can stop Hamilton.
Well, I guess you're looking at it this way. If you're Hamilton, we'll take it.
Well, Chris, it's really looking like this half is starting off much like it did the last half.
9:50 left to go in this third quarter, 21-17.
And they are marking off a 15-yard penalty on that.
Yeah, that's doing part of Simpson getting a little bit of vocal on there. He was standing at the M, basically standing on the M at midfield.
And from the position that the ref that made that call was at, there was no way he could have seen the hands of whether or not they touched the ball. That is my only argument I'll have on that, whether or not he touched it.
Right. Well, regardless, Quincy Sims-Marshall is going to take the shotgun snap from the 28-yard line and hands off to, is it Keyshawn Stevens? Barreling through, gets himself about 4 yards. Up to the 25-yard line is Big Blue. Tick, 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 tick. 9:30 left to play here in this third quarter. 21-17. Hamilton up on top of Middletown in the 2019 rendition of this Butler Bowl. 2 wide receivers split to the right. Quincy Sims-Marshall hands off to Keyshawn Stevens. Gets inside the 20-yard line.
Level.
You saw that hit too there.
That was Josh Bryant.
Josh Bryant's got himself a little bit of a fiery side to him there on the defensive end.
after that fumble on him. I don't think he's none too happy about having to play on defense right now.
But good hit by Josh Bryant, but not after a first down run by Keyshawn Stevens. Puts the ball at the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. Caleb Johnson takes the handoff from Quincy Sims Marshall and barrels inside the 10-yard line, a little bit more inside the 5, Jake. First down.
I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Middies right there on that tackle, and he drugged them for 7 yards.
Well,
that's a yard a Middy.
Looking at first down and goal at the 4-yard line is Hamilton. 2 spread out to the right side, pistol formation, and I think that's a false start by Caleb Johnson.
Either a false start or an illegal motion.
Yeah, I don't know if he wanted to get a little bit of a head start on that handoff there, but Quincy Sims Marshall looked like he was going to give it to him. Yeah, 8:32 left to play. That's going to bring the ball back to the 9-yard line. Still first down, Jake. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. I'm Chris Vogt alongside Jacob Bingham. Jacob Bingham is getting a little bit of a broadcast experience here. It's an interesting one for us here at Middletown, where it is 21-17. Hamilton up on top. Hand off to Caleb Johnson. Hits the line of scrimmage. Barrels still up. Dragging some people down to the 1-yard line, Jake. Tell you what, nobody's going to be able to take him down.
Did I see a flag come out, or was I just seeing things, Chris?
I don't know. You might be seeing things.
I believe I was.
No, but somebody is down. Who is down is a Middletown player. So Caleb Johnson's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling down to the 1-yard line is going to bring up
second and goal.
Second and goal here, Jake. Well,
from about the 3-yard line?
Yep, while they attend to a Middletown player from the training staff, we are going to take a break. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student-athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student-athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4.
Hey, this is Middletown Josh Bryant. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Network.
All right, second down and 3 at the 3-yard line. We're going to call that second down and goal. Jake, you need to correct me on that. 2 wide receivers to the left. Hand off to Caleb Johnson. Nobody was there to grab him. Untouched.
He could have backpedaled in there.
Well, I don't know if you're going to look at that defensive line from Middletown, but there was nothing going inside there.
They got blown off the ball, Chris. They were all in the end zone by the time the ball was handed off, so he could have tiptoed that ball into the end zone and scored.
Big Blue goes back on. Big Blue continues to add to their lead, 27-17, amidst this extra points by number 36, and that is
David Martinez. And he missed it, so it is a 10-point game. Keeps things interesting.
Well, I guess it gives Middletown an opportunity to if they do get in field goal range, it wouldn't be too much of a bad idea to boot it. They've already done it once. Might as well do it again. 27-17. Didn't take too much time off the clock as we're looking at 7:50 left to go in this third quarter. We'll keep you updated from around the county with scores. Baden reeling over there at Virgil Storm Stadium in Hamilton over Fenwick, 34-0. Looks like an update from Talawanda. DeAndre both asked Reveille opens the second half with a 35-yard touchdown run for Talawanda to put the Brave up 21-20 over Edgewood in that SWAC contest. We'll keep you up to par as we get the updates reeling in here. Lakota East just went the distance and scored.
Making it interesting right there with West.
Making it interesting. It's one of the rivalries in Butler County there.
It is rivalry week here in Butler County.
It is. There we go. A little pooch kick and almost recovered by Big Blue, but Middletown swipes it up and they fall on it at their own 47-yard line. Interesting call if you're Mahan.
He's a gambler. They've got a 10-point lead. He was like, I'm gonna seize the momentum, see if I can do it. I mean, if I'm the Middies, I'll take this skip wrap field position.
Absolutely.
You've got, like you said, we still have 7:48 left here in the third. It's a 10-point game, and you're only 53 yards away from the end zone. 54. Well, no, I was right the first time. 53.
Always go with your gut, right?
It's always C, isn't it?
4 wide receivers split to the right, 1 to the left.
With 0 back.
Tossed over to Josh Bryant, and Josh Bryant has a little bit of a seam on the right side and gets himself a first down. Looks like an 11-yard gain, pushing the chains. First down, Middletown. I tell you what, that formation had Hamilton kind of, I wouldn't say out of whack, but...
It was a look we haven't seen from Middletown yet, and quite honestly, I haven't seen that look from them very often, period.
Hurry up offense, hand off to Josh Bryant. Josh Bryant,
and it's a fumble.
The ball. I think they're calling that down by contact. I think his elbow hit the ground and that popped out. We can't go to the booth on stuff like that, Jake.
I was looking over to my replay there real quick, and it looks like we have another Midi down.
Yeah, but he's trying to get up.
It looks like it might be Josh Bryant.
That's not good. He did get upended, Jake, and I think that's the reason why that ball came out. Josh Bryant hobbling off, not a good sign if you're a Midi fan.
Thomas comes into the field, but we got a first down. See if they can do what they did last time when Bryant needed a break.
Well, Thomas didn't do a bad job. I know that he picked up minimal amount of yards there, but I mean, you're looking at 4 3 yards every single time when they handed it off to Thomas. And I guess if you're Middletown, we'll take that any day with Bryant on the sideline. Pistol formation is Kamari Fuller. Handoff up the middle, getting himself about 2 yards on that. And that was indeed Thomas. We're under 7 minutes left to play, 27-17 if you're just tuning in. If this third quarter, Josh Bryant, Middletown Middies' go-to guy on the ground, just left the field. We'll see if he's okay. We'll keep an eye on him on the sideline, see if he's hobbling around. Kamari Fuller gets the snap, fake handoff, throws to the left side, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Abrelia Million.
That was a bad pass on Fuller. He had Million open at the sticks, and he threw that ball just a little too flat and a little too short. Million had to, even if he'd have gotten it, he would have only had a minimal gain on that.
I saw his momentum carrying him out of bounds.
Bringing up a 3rd and long.
2 wide receivers to the left side for Middletown, 1 to the right. Kamari Fuller in the shotgun. Behind him and to the right is Thomas.
And we're going to have a false start here on number 57.
Yeah, that's going to push him back 5 yards there. Looking at 3rd down and 12. All right. Thank you for tuning in to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. I'm Chris Vogt alongside Jacob Bingham. It's been a fantastic game so far as we're entering 6 minutes left to play in this third quarter. Fake handoff, Kamari Fuller tosses it to the right side. Perfectly thrown ball to number 25, J.C. Calhoun, and he steps out of bounds. Not after, and I'd say we'll get that at about a 12-yard gain from
Giving him about 4th and 2 right here, and looking like Don Simpson's going to do what I would do in this situation, and that's go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're hurrying up to the line, keeping Hamilton at bay with their defense and formation. 2 to the left side, 1 to the right. Snap to Fuller. Fuller takes it himself after the read option, and he gets himself a first down, Jake.
He froze that left defensive end, and he had lane, and he took it for that 6-yard gain to get that first down.
Got to commend Fuller on that call. Beautifully executed shotgun read.
Like I said, he doesn't have a lot of speed, but he's got some escapability that he can make some things happen.
Well, just that fake handoff to, I don't know, are they going to measure? Oh, they gave him the first down there, Jake. Yeah, that looked like he went out of bounds at around the 27-yard line, and that's well past the markers. First down and 10 at the 27. Kamari Fuller grabs the snap, jukes, jives, makes a little bit of, some space for himself. And I tell you what, Jake, he turned a 5-yard loss into a 5-yard gain.
I haven't seen that kind of move from Kamari Fuller yet.
Hey, we better stop talking about him being immobile, because that was the complete opposite. I guess I used the wrong word there. He is mobile. Maybe just not as fast as what you would see maybe out of Quincy Sims-Marshall or, the read option.
Yes, exactly.
Hand off to Thomas up the middle and gets himself about 4 yards, Jake, and that'll bring the ball to the 20-yard line. 3rd down and 1.
I was looking for Bryant over here on the sideline. I saw him warming up just a couple moments ago, so I would suspect that they're probably going to be bringing him in here real soon.
If you're Middies fans and seeing him moving around on the sidelines like he is, you're throwing some high fives to each other. 5-minute mark of this third quarter, 27-17. Hamilton up on top. However, Middletown is driving. 2 wide receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Handoff to up middle, and that is number 11, Thomas, and he's smothered at the line of scrimmage. Nothing going on there, Jake, and I think they're going to look at
It's looking like it's going to be 4th and inches.
Yep.
I thought that with the mark they have now, he had it at first. So, and to Midi fans, Bryant has just come back on the field. So, on what looks like it's going to be a 4th and short try. Oh, he's bringing on the field goal team.
Here we go, and this is probably what we thought was going to happen. If there's an opportunity for Middletown to get some points on the board when they can, do it. And they're going to trust the leg of Mason Durth.
He got about a 37-yarder straight on right down the middle of the field.
Yeah, he hit a 35 one in the second quarter. Snap, kick, up.
And it looks like it's wide left. Wide left.
Yeah, he hooked it a little too much there, Jake, and that's going to give Hamilton Big Blue the ball and Middletown no points.
With a shaky kicker situation like that, would you have cooked that, Chris, or would you have gone for it?
You know what? I think Middletown was looking for the points there. They trusted Durth, but in my mind, I would have gone for it if I was Simpson. You had the opportunity for that same position a couple plays ago, and you ended up getting a first down with a nice read option run by Kamari Fuller, and you also had Josh Bryant in there too if you needed him, because he's in there. If you got Josh Bryant in there, let's give him the ball.
I said it earlier, feed the monster.
2 wide receivers to the left as Hamilton takes over at their own 20-yard line. Handoff to Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson, stiff arm, gets to the left side and out of bounds. Not until he gets a 10-yard gain. And a 10-yard gain will give them a first down, Jake. Caleb Johnson creating space, stiff arming a couple people, getting some room. 12-yard gain, first down. 10-yard gain, first down for Hamilton.
Yeah, I believe Caleb Johnson's only a sophomore. Yes.
Yeah, Caleb Johnson's going to do some work.
Along with the junior and Keyshawn Stevens and Quincy Sims-Marshall, I believe all 4 of their top
running backs are underclassmen.
Yes.
Caleb Johnson with another run to the right side, and that's going to be a 1-yard gain. That brings the ball to Hamilton's own 32-yard line. We're reaching under 4 minutes left to play in the third quarter.
Could be 2nd and 8. And this is exactly what Mahan wants to do. Run the clock. Kill the clock. See if we can't put some points on the board right here, right before the end of the quarter.
2nd down and 8 at the 32-yard line is Hamilton. Quincy Sims-Marshall, go ahead.
You all right?
Quincy Sims-Marshall in the shotgun, hands off to I think we're looking at Kashawn Stevens up the middle, and he's just stood up. Nothing going there, Jake, as we're going to reach third down and about 8. Big play from Middletown.
They need to stop here. They need to get the ball back in. They need to get some more points on the board. And they need to do it in a hurry. Because Mahan is in no hurry to get his offense running at this moment.
Third down and 6 for Hamilton at their own 34-yard line. Middletown looking for a defensive stop after shanking a field goal from 35 yards out. Handoff to number 2. Caleb Johnson in Middletown got the stop they needed, Jake, and he lost it!
And
it comes out of nowhere! It just squirted out. We didn't even, nobody knew it was out.
It looked like a grease pig coming out of that pile. He actually lost about 3 yards on that fumble. He bringing up a 4th and long 6.
Quincy Sims Marshall had his head on a swivel there. He wasn't looking for the next play. He saw that ball pop out and hopped on it.
Now, on this punt return, let's see if Josh Bryant comes up and Cox Shirley grabs that ball out of the air.
It's either call fair catch, make sure you're going to catch it, or just get away from it at this point.
Because that last one on that fumble, it looked like he was a little tentative on whether or not he wanted to catch it or not.
Right. Punting unit out on the field for the Hamilton Big Blue. Looks like McCullough's going to be back to punt for them. And Nate Mahan's doing something. He's talking to the ref. As animated as Nate Mahan is, I don't know what could be happening right now.
And we've got a timeout for Hamilton. I think Mahan wants to talk about this one with his team.
Yeah, we're going to take a timeout as well, and we'll be right back on the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. 27-17, Hamilton on top of Middletown.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for the report. One thing we strive to do here at the report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports, results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Hey, this is Middletown's Umbrella Million number 12, and you're listening to Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Welcome back to Barnitz Stadium, where it is Hamilton in a punt situation here at their own 35-yard line. Middletown looking to do some damage of their own here, trailing 27-17, like you said, Jake.
Josh Bryant standing right here on the 36-yard line. He backs up just a couple steps.
Yeah, if you're, like you said, if you're Middletown, this is a crucial possession here if you want to get a little bit of momentum heading into this fourth quarter. McCullough's shanked the punt, and I tell you what, get away if you're Middletown. Get away. Let it bounce. Well, Josh Bryant won't have an opportunity to touch it, so if you're a Middie fan, that's good news there, as he had fumbled the last possession on that punt. Middletown's going to take over at their own 33-yard line, Jake, and I mean, if you're Simpson, you've seen them a couple times. What ideally would you see out of them in this situation?
Well, with still 2:15 left here in the third quarter, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to Bryant. I mean, like, he didn't feel that punt. I didn't see him out there on defense on that last series. So, with that rest he had from the last series, he should be pretty well rested. And I would feed the rested running back right now, and then sprinkle in maybe some play action. Some read option throws. Try to spread the ball around a little bit more. You've shown what your offense can do. Now let's put it all together and see what it will do.
Motion out of the backfield is Josh Bryant takes the throw to the right side and gets himself about 6 yards. A designed flat pass.
Bubble screen is what it kind of looks like, and I believe that's about the third time they've run that play. I think when he broke free on that touchdown run was on that play as well.
Bubble screen was good for 7 yards. Hand off to Josh Bryant. He's weaving and dodging. His leg's good. He's fine.
Yes, he's fine. And it looks like he got just, yes, and they're going to mark it for a first down right before the 45-yard line. Looked like the side judge had already called it.
I don't know. You've got two side judges giving a yard difference.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to push it, Jake.
The guy with the white hat said yes, so.
First down, Middletown. 1:33 left to play in the third quarter. Middletown down 27-17 to Hamilton in the Butler Bowl. Two wide receivers split to the left, two wide receivers split to the right.
Stacked on top of each other.
Yep. Toss it on over to Million. Million grabs it, going to try and do some weaving and dodging, making some space for himself and gets himself a 5-yard gain out of almost nothing.
He ran about 30 yards for 5.
Well, if you're Simpson, you'd rather have 5 than...
It looks like Bryant is hobbling off on the field again. I believe that might have been Bryant on that catch, Chris.
Well, Bryant gets himself 5 yards.
He does not look happy right now.
I don't know if this is going to change the game plan, but they're going to go ahead and continue to play with number 11, Thomas. Thomas gets the ball up the middle. And Thomas has he's a lot smaller than what Bryant is, so he can find maybe a little bit of a skinnier hole than what Bryant could, and he can
also get hidden behind them big boys on the line, and
brings up 3rd down and 2. Crosses midfield, and that puts the ball at the Hamilton 49-yard line, a man down from Middletown. Oh, Hamilton's seen quite a few guys go down.
And from the look of the stretching going on Bryant over here on the sidelines, it appears as if that might be a cramp.
Yeah. He needs to start eating some more bananas. At least that's what I was told when I was playing in high school. So, while Isaiah tend to a midi player who is lying on the field next to the M, we're going to take a break. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game. We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Matandy Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
What's up? This is Hamilton Big Blue Keyshawn Stevens, and you're listening to Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. Let's get it, man.
Welcome back to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. Hobbling off the field was the Middletown Middie. We hope he is okay. Middletown's been getting roughed up by this Big Blue defense. We are hoping that
that looks like that's Shawkees Thomas. And who do we got in there now? It looks like it's Cameron Jr., the linebacker, and I guess now third string running back for the Middies in there at running back.
Kamari Fuller in the shotgun. There's a flag on the play. We're going to see what happens here. I think we're going to look at a false start. Yeah, false start on one of the offensive linemen from Middletown. And, if you have an injury, you get a false start. You just don't want to see Middletown implode here as you're reaching the end of this third quarter.
They have a tendency to stub their own toes frequently. And that's what's affected their 1-6 record.
10 seconds left to play here as we approach the gun of this third quarter. Kamari Fuller gets the snap, drops back, sees some running room, but he holds up, tosses it over to number 25, J.C. Calhoun, who gets close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a yard shy as we enter this fourth quarter of play. Jacob seeing a good one.
It's good, like you said right at halftime, it may come down to last trips down the field.
Well, we're going to take a break. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown a Performer of the Week. We choose a student athlete from each of our coverage area schools from any sports and let family, friends, and your school vote in the Report's Performer of the Week poll on our website. Tell us who you think should be in our Performer of the Week poll, and most importantly, enjoy the rest of the broadcast.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Middletown Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
Hey, this is Middletown's Umbrella Million number 12, and you're listening to Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
Welcome back to Barnitz Stadium here in Middletown, where it is the Middies trying to put some points on the board here to cut the Big Blue lead. It's 27-17. The last 12 minutes of this contest will be underway. Discussion here. Fourth down and, Jake, I'm looking at a fourth down in less than a football.
Well, but before they flip the field, they should have come out and measured the ball to see,
right.
and to see, because now you can't measure the ball. The ball's not in the same spot it was placed
right.
prior to the end of the quarter. But it's looking like it is fourth and a football length.
Right. Yeah,
That's a classic QB sneak.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing, though. Kamari Fuller hasn't been operating under center, so it's one of those things you can't justify grabbing that snap after running the shotgun all game.
And looks like they're going to give him the first down on this.
Yep, there we go. Kamari Fuller in the shotgun. Jake, I don't think that they were actually looking to give him that first down. They were actually looking to push that, make sure the chains were lined up.
That was a fourth, and he was right on the sticks, and they're giving him a 4th and 3, and Don Simpson is nonplussed over there on the sideline.
Something happened to where the sticks aren't lining up correctly. Well, you can't really go to the booth on this one.
The Zebras are having a discussion.
So after the break of this third quarter, we were switching fields, and I don't know if the referees kind of mixed up what they were doing in terms of the location of the ball. And it actually should be.
At worst for Middletown, it should be 4th and inches.
Right.
It should not be 4th and 4, what they've got them set up at right now.
Well, as they discuss here, we're going to run through some scores here. I think we're going to get a little bit of a break in the action here while they figure this out. But across the county here, Lakota West is up on top of Lakota East 16-7. And that's in the fourth quarter. Baden is up on top of Fenwick 34-6 in the fourth quarter.
My pin.
Ross and Little Miami are all tied up. We all expected that game to be a juggernaut, and that's in the fourth quarter, 21-21. New Miami 33, North College Hill 18. That's in the fourth quarter. Fairfield 31, Sycamore 3 in the third quarter. Madison 27, Northridge nothing in the fourth quarter. And Talawanda 28, Edgewood 20 in the fourth quarter. Here we go, Jake. Fourth down and 3.
They have given Middletown a poor spot. That was 4th and inches.
Fake handoff. Kamari Fuller takes it himself.
He's not going
to get it.
He's not going to get it.
Yep, half yard short, Jake, on that. Keeper himself gets about 2.5 yards. Change of possession. Hamilton takes over at their own 45-yard line. Well, Kamari Fuller.
That was plain simple. That one was on the Zebras.
Right. Well, Hamilton has an opportunity to, I wouldn't say put this one out if they punch this across the end zone. However, it's going to put Middletown in a score and score only situation the next time they get the ball.
55 yards to go to put the ball in, and I mean, any score right here really puts the pressure on Middletown to have to really excel over this final frame to come back and win this.
And 2 wide outs to the right. Quincy Sims-Marshall drops back, and he's going for the home run ball. Number 13, he's got it. Dorian Bowling catches it inside the 20 and down to the 11-yard line. And I tell you what, Jake, if you're Mahan, I'm calling a home run ball exactly like he did right there.
You coming off of a play just like that? Yes.
Yep. There it was.
Like I said, you want to put the game away, and that's what he was trying to do right there.
Dorian Bowling had some separation on his defender. Sims-Marshall put it right there. I'm not going to say that it was in stride, but because if it was actually in stride, Dorian Bowling would have been gone.
That's a 55-yard touchdown.
Yeah. But if you're a Big Blue fan over there on the opposite side of the stands, you're happy right now. 1st and 10, Big Blue, big game. That's about a 45-yard pass connection to Dorian Bowling. Hand off to number 2, Caleb Johnson. Gets inside the 10-yard line down to the 6-yard line. Jake, they got about 7 yards to go to punch this bad boy in.
And I see Mahan slowly ticking this clock away. Probably trying to get the ball in the end zone here, right around the 10-minute mark. I would say we have about another minute to go off.
Right.
By then, you're talking a 3-possession game. I don't think there's 3 possessions left for Middletown in this game.
Right. 2nd down, and we'll call it 6. Pardon me, 2nd down and 4 at the 6-yard line. They can still get a first down, Jake. A minimal amount of field for Hamilton to work with in terms of scoring. Hand off to number 24 in motion, and he stopped behind the line of scrimmage, Jake. That was Jaden Marshall on a, kind of a sweep. Of a wide receiver end around. That brings the ball back to the 10-yard line. It's about a 4-yard loss for Hamilton. Hey, if you're Mahan, no frets. Just play the clock game right now. If you're Big Blue. 3rd down and 10 3rd down and 8 at the 10-yard line. Hand off to Caleb Johnson. Boost up the middle inside the 5-yard line and gets down to the 3. Still short of the first down, Jake.
I'm not seeing any movement from the kicker over there on him.
Nope. Mahan's probably going to go for it. Mahan running on that field, you better look out. He's about 10 yards onto that field. 4th down and 2, Jake, here at the 4-yard line. In the pistol formation is Sims-Marshall. Sims-Marshall hand off to Caleb Johnson. He gets inside the 2-yard line. That's going to be a first down regardless, Jake. No change to move at this point. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. That's another. If you're Big Blue and want to expand this drive out, you can take off another minute and a half.
A play or two. We got 9:15 left here in the game, and they got 2 yards to go with a 10-point lead.
Well, if I was a coach, I'd just say punch it in with your hand, though. Punch it in.
Oh, them kids are trying to punch it in whenever they can.
Absolutely. Mahan just got told to get on the sidelines. I was waiting for that to happen. Yeah, I'm looking at a timeout here. It's probably likely going to have. No, they're measuring, Jake. That's why the stoppage in play.
As the stands wait with bated breath to find out whether or not they got this first 4th down or not.
And 27-17, 9:15 left to play in the 4th quarter. Middletown trailing Hamilton. First down.
First down.
Yeah, that's going to give the Hamilton Big Blue, they've got all day long to score right here from the 1-yard line as it brings up a first down and goal from the 1. Sims-Marshall likely just going to hand off to either Johnson or or Keyshawn Stevens and say, do your thing. It's nice to have options when you got a backfield like that.
Wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see him throw the ball up either.
Hand off to Caleb Johnson and beat off the ball there. The line was beat off the ball and touchdown. Caleb Johnson punches it in. That looks like it's going to put it up to 33-17, 9:05 left to play in this fourth quarter. Yeah, well, and if you're going to look at what Middletown's been able to do in the first half, unfortunately their defensive line has just been sort of a sieve right now.
They've been getting pushed back. They're young up front. I think Checkfall's the only senior on the defensive line.
Martinez's kick is up and good. That puts it to 34-17. Middletown's got some big time to work with here. 9:05 left to play. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Performance Toyota, located on Route 4 in Fairfield. Never pay more when you shop Route 4. Performance Toyota. Matandi Steel, a proud supporter of Baden Athletics. Bird's Grill and Bar, our Fan of the Day sponsor. Rick's Tavern and Grill, our gift certificate sponsor. SuccessPhoto.com, professional images of your local student athletes. And Mel's Diner, located in the heart of the village, a proud supporter of New Miami Athletics.
Hey, this is Joey Vogt for The Report. One thing we strive to do here at The Report is recognize the local high school student athletes and their accomplishments to the best of our abilities, which is the reason why we partnered up with Performance Toyota and Rick's Tavern to crown.
Hey, this is Middletown's Umbrella Million number 12, and you're listening to Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
All right, back here at Barnitz Stadium, it is 34-17. Caleb Johnson got himself a 1-yard touchdown run to put Middletown even further up on top. A squib kick to Middletown, picked up at the 30-yard line, brings it across the 40-yard line, and he is down at the 44. I'd say probably around the 42-yard line of Middletown. That's where Middletown's going to start this drive. Well, I mean, if you're Hamilton, it's just make sure that nobody gets in space. You don't want to see the playmakers from Middletown get in space if you're Hamilton, and just contain.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Middletown go a little more fast paced here. Getting hot just under 9 minutes to go to this game, and we're down by 17 points.
2 to the right, 3 to the left. Kamari Fuller tosses it on over to Cameron Jr. Cameron Jr. down the race to the left, has some room, splits everybody, and he's gonna punch it in, Jake. Holy smokes! That was a 58-yard touchdown pass from Kamari Fuller to Cameron Jr. right down the left sideline, Jake. That was, I guess, worked to a T right there.
He walked on a balance beam down that sideline, squirted through, and there's nobody catching him once he got up to full speed. By the time he hit the 25-yard line, there was no one in sight. It's a 34-23 game.
With 8:40 with 9 left to play. Hold on. Everybody's saying hold on. But wait, there's more. Mason Durst's kick is up, and it's good. That's going to bring it to 34-24 in a blink of an eye. I've been saying in a blink of an eye for the last couple of weeks. We had Tom McLean, boom, done, blink of an eye. We had the Robinette brothers, boom, they can get stuff done in the blink of an eye over at New Miami. And when you've got playmakers on both sides of the ball here for Hamilton and Middletown, you're looking at an even closer game than what it was before. 34-24, 8:49 left to play in this contest. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports results, stories, and student-athlete features. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Hey, this is Middletown Josh Bryant. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Network.
Welcome back to Barnitz Stadium, where Cameron Jr. quieted a visiting crowd of the Hamilton Big Blue and pulls that back to within 10 at 34-24. Jake, Mahan's probably telling his boys, hey, just keep everybody in front of you. Keep them in front of you. Let's coast. Kamari Fuller.
Well, the problem with that is Cameron Jr. didn't allow anybody to stay in front of him.
Right.
He hit that hole and he bursted. I haven't seen the ball in his hands very much. I didn't realize he had that much of a playmaker in him.
Well, they had 5 receivers out there on that play. I'd imagine every single one of those 5 receivers would be able to make that play there. 34-24, 8:49 left to play here in this fourth quarter.
And the Big Blue return team is coming up as just in preparation for an onside kick.
Right. Which is smart.
Well, it looks like they got their hands team out there as it is. There's no big bodies out here, so don't be surprised if we see a little trickeration.
Back to return is Khalil Sewell for Hamilton. And took a little bit of time to set up that ball. And everybody from Hamilton is lined up near the 50-yard line for, like you said, a possible opportunity for a squib kick. And it's a pooch kick, a really, really good kick.
He's gonna
and he got it! He got the squib kick, and then they're going to take over at the Hamilton 25-yard line. Wow, what a kick! Holy smokes.
Chris, that was a Phil Mickelson flop shot down to the 20-yard line and stuck that ball there, and he scooped it right up out of the air and kept running with it. Giving Middletown the ball right around the 30-yard line. 8:46 left to go in the game, down 34-24. Looking to make this game more interesting than it already is.
We're going to stay right here. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. Back and forth contest in the first half. Mostly Hamilton, but big plays are making things interesting in keeping Middletown in this contest. Kamari Fuller in the shotgun. Handoff. Fumble, but no, it's recovered by number 71 for Middletown. That's Taylor Cotton, pardon me. Jake, I'm telling you what, Kamari Fuller wanted to get that handoff to Cameron Jr., and Cameron Jr., unfortunately, not used to seeing him get a handoff from Kamari Fuller.
I believe that's his first handoff of the game.
So it was an awkward exchange. Kamari Fuller drops back to pass. Doesn't see much going. Looks to the right. Has a wide receiver.
And JC just dropped it right at the 10-yard line.
Wide open in the middle around the 10-yard line was J.C. Calhoun. I would tell you what, maybe J.C. had to go down and get it. Kamari Fuller probably got excited there to see a wide receiver wide open like that in the middle of the field.
That's not the first or second time tonight that J.C. Calhoun has been wide open on that seam, and he's missed them time and again. And it may be one day they'll connect. Eventually tonight they will connect. We got Josh Bryant coming back on the field to replace Cameron Jr. We got 2 wide split to the right, 2 wide split to the left. Braylon and Million in motion.
Hand off up the middle to Josh Bryant, and Josh Bryant's going to get him about 6 yards there. That's going to put them in the red zone to the 19-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I believe it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, 4th down, pardon me.
5. And looks like they're bringing the kicking team out again to try to make this 10-point game a 7-point game. Now, he's already missed 1 field goal tonight.
The rough part about this kick is that you're looking at it on the left hash mark, so you've got.
Well, for a right-footed kicker, that's not too bad.
And then he also hooked it, so we'll see what happens here. Snap, kick, it's down.
He looks like he's wide left again.
Yep, wide left again, Jake. Almost identical to that kick on the opposite side of the field earlier this half. So a missed opportunity for Middletown. However, you're not gonna sit down now. It's 34-24, 7:31 left to play in this fourth quarter. Hamilton's gonna take over at the 20-yard line. It's one of those rules for high school that any field goal taken It goes back to the 20-yard line.
If the kick reaches the end zone.
We're going to take a look around the county here as we're winding down on this Friday night lights. Week 8, bring us some excitement here. Lakota West took down Lakota East 16-7. And still 21-21. Ross and Little Miami all knotted up here. New Miami still up on top of North College Hill in the fourth quarter, 41-26. Fairfield up on top of Sycamore, 31-3. Hand off to Caleb Johnson. Finds a seam and gets himself a first down. He's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, and 12-yard gain across the 30-yard line. First down, Hamilton.
Just taking multiple midi defenders to take Caleb Johnson down tonight.
Yeah,
he's running with a fury and with a passion tonight.
Yeah, you're right. You'll continually see that.
And in my game prep, I didn't have anything on him. I was all keyed in on Keyshawn Stevenson, and it's been pretty much Caleb Johnson.
Right.
You know, outside that first quarter, it's been all Caleb Johnson with a little sprinkle of Stevens.
First down and 10 at the 33-yard line is Hamilton. 2 wide receivers of the right side. Pistol formation is Sims Marshall. Sims Marshall takes the snap. Hand off to Caleb Johnson. Wide open room to the left side. Burst of speed for a 20-yard gain, and he goes out of bounds. Hits the 50-yard line, Jake. There it is. You have some more scouting report on Caleb Johnson.
I don't think I'll be forgetting that name for the next 2.5, 3 years.
That puts the ball at Hamilton's own 48-yard line. Didn't quite reach the 50-yard line, pardon me. First and 10. 6:51 left to play, 34-24. Hamilton up on top of Middletown. A couple missed opportunities for Middletown to get back into this game. Smothering defense by Middletown as Caleb Johnson took that sweep handoff to the right for a loss of 1. That brings up second down and 11 at Hamilton's own 47-yard line. We're going to call this one the final. It's Madison over Northridge, 27-0. That was a much-needed win for Madison. That's a huge win, actually. A lot of points. Stevens, now here comes a little bit of that sprinkle you were talking about. Stevens burst up the middle for about a 10-yard gain, we'll call it. Bring up third down and 2 across midfield to the Middletown 44-yard line.
And they're bleeding that clock as it continually takes 5:55 and counting left in the game.
I was going to say tick, 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 tick. Tick, tick.
With a 10-point cushion, that's all they're going to do. They're going to keep giving it Stevens to Johnson. Stevens to Johnson. All the way down the field.
Third down and 2 at the 44-yard line of Middletown. Keyshawn Stevens is standing behind Quincy Sims Marshall. He gets that snap. Running room to the right side. Good pursuit. Nice tackle by number 10, Sheely. Yeah, Sheely had a nice pursuit tackle on there. He was trying to make him cut inside, but he just decided to make the tackle himself. Not until a first down. 39-yard line is where Hamilton's going to take this first down opportunity. Tick, 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 like we were talking about, Jake. 5:16 left to play in this fourth quarter. 34-24. Hamilton up on top of Middletown if you're just tuning in from a contest from around the county. Sims Marshall gets the shotgun snap. Hands off to Keyshawn Stevens. Great inside-outside move there. Takes it past the 35-yard line down to the 33-yard line. Going to set up a second down and 5 for Hamilton.
Middletown needs to force a turnover right here, and they need to get the ball back. Because Hamilton is not going to stop that clock unless they get a first down.
Mahan knows exactly what he's doing with this style of offense that he's got on the field. Caleb Johnson coming in, just rotating in and out that formation. Caleb Johnson gets it, stiff arm, first down, 6-yard gain, move the chains. There it is. I mean, you've got Caleb Johnson going. Hey, Caleb Johnson takes a couple carries, toss in Keyshawn Stevens. You're looking good if you're Mahan in Big Blue.
You're coming in with fresh legs, going against a tired defense, going in the later stages of the game. It's just smart, sound football.
Is this what you saw with Middletown a couple of times you've seen them
Yeah,
in the season?
it's just that they're behind. They're always playing behind in the fourth. Right. And I don't think the defense has never played ahead in the fourth, so they don't know how to defend the lead, let alone when they are behind. Right. They're just tired. They've probably been on the field quite a bit tonight because the Hamilton scores have been quick and furious. Or I'm sorry, the Middletown scores.
Under 4 minutes to play.
And that was a fine tackle by Cameron Jr.
Yeah, Cameron Jr. makes a good open field tackle there as Caleb Johnson tried to spring that to the outside. He gets a minimal amount of yards there. Looks like about maybe a 1 yard gain, we'll call it. 2nd down and 9 at the 29-yard line.
Clock's rolling under 3.5 minutes. By the time this ball is snapped, it'll be under 3:20. By the time we set up for the next play, we'll be at the 3-minute mark, Chris. Right. And I, with the time left.
Yeah, you're looking at just bleed. Handoff up the middle to Keyshawn Stevens. Gets himself close to another first down there for Hamilton.
And it looks like we have just tying a shoe.
I mean, yeah, you don't want to see anybody injured, but I tell you what, if you're going to see another Middletown Middie injured, that's more than a handful of Middletown Middie players have gone to the sidelines.
We've got a 3rd and 1 here for the Big Blue.
I'm Coach Mahan. You're not changing a single thing at this point.
Nope, you're going to keep feeding them running backs. Looks like it's Stevens in here on this.
Feed the beast, right? Feed the beast. Handoff, Keyshawn Stevens, likewise what we thought. First down, 5-yard gain inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line.
Stops the clock at 2:28.
Yeah, that clock's going to run upon that.
And it looks like we have a couple of middies down hurt.
They're like right on top of each other, doggone. They're springing up.
Looked like it was Cameron Jr. and is that Cameron Cooper as well?
Yeah.
Yep.
Some of those boys are getting roughed up over there. Yeah, it's 2:28 left to play here in the fourth quarter, 34-24. We're going to take a break. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network.
We thank you for listening to a live broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report's YouTube channel. We encourage you to check out our website at www.bchssreport.com for all your local prep sports, results, stories, and student-athlete features.
Hey, this is Middletown Josh Bryant. You're listening to the Butler County High School Sports Report Network.
Hand off to Stevens to the left side out of the break on first down, and nothing going there. Good defensive stop by the Middletown Middie pursuit. Actually, we're going to call that a loss of 1. That brings it back to the 15-yard line. Tick, tick, tick. Under 2 minutes to play, Jake.
And it's taking Don Simpson and the Middie sideline forever to get a timeout called. They came running down there, 4 or 5 different coaches screaming and waving their hands.
Ideally, you'd have a coach right on one of those referees' hits.
Well, with the sideline warnings they've already made and the fact that coaches can't go past the 20-yard line.
That's true. That's a good point. Well, Lakota West took care of Lakota East 16-7. That's a final. Little Miami kicked a field goal to go up on top of Ross, 24-21 in the fourth. North College Hills still trailing New Miami. New Miami looking to go 8-0 for the first time in school history, 47-26 in that fourth quarter. Fairfield still up on top of Sycamore, 31-3. We are here at Middletown where it is 34-24, under 2 minutes left to play. Baden and Fenwick is a final. Baden takes care of Fenwick, 34-6. Big win for Baden. That's going to get them some points in Division 3 action there. Madison out Northridge, 27-0. Talawanda up on top of Edgewood, 28-26 in the fourth quarter. That one looks like it's probably going to end soon. Monroe grabs their first win of the season, 35-14 over Oakwood. I'll try and give Coach Bob Mullins a call to get his input on that contest. Congratulations to Bob Mullins on getting his first win at the Hornet Helm. And what we were talking about before, Joey and I were seeing Monroe next week, which eases a little bit of some tension with a defeated team. We get to see them play Madison next week after Monroe got that win. Out of the break, hand off to Caleb Johnson, stiff arm, gets out of bounds. I mean, if you're Mahan, you say, get down, get down, don't run out of bounds.
With a 10-point lead and a $1.53 to go in a game, I don't think he's going to split hairs too much about his running back being forced out of bounds.
I probably would have been that coach. Just go down. Third brings up a 3rd down and 6 play here at the 10-yard line.
You're asking a kid not to compete by asking them to do that, and you can't ask these kids not to compete.
That's a good point. Hand off to Caleb Johnson again. Caleb Johnson's looking to find us in, Jacob. He gets a first down inside the 5-yard line down to the 3.
He is thirsty for that end zone.
Yep.
He wants it.
Well, put an exclamation mark on this second half. That's what Caleb Johnson's looking to do. That's what Hamilton's looking to do. If you're Mahan, don't kneel it. You're going to put this bad boy in. I want to thank our sponsors. We appreciate it. We want to thank Athletic Director of Athletics over here at Middletown High School, J.D. Faust. Appreciate you setting us up. Fantastic view of this contest. Jacob, pardon me, Caleb Johnson does not get in. Tried to cross that left pylon, but he's short by about a football length. That stops the clock with 1:26 left. I want to thank you, Jake. Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, Chris, for having me out. I've enjoyed it.
So if you weren't here, which game would you have wanted to watch today?
Rossville, Miami.
Rossville, Miami. We won't let Coach Kenyon come into that one. We're going to keep an up game. It's still 24-21 here.
Well, I covered that game last year, the Rossville, Miami game. So.
Right. And Caleb Johnson punches it in, and that's going to put Hamilton up on top, 40-24. And it looks like that deflated the sales of the Middletown Mini contingent. Some of the student section is leaving. Some of the fans are leaving. Starting to make their way to the parking lots, brother. Yep, that puts them up on top, 40-24. 1:22 left to play in this contest.
Well, Chris, the final score is not going to show how close this game really truly was.
I agree. That kick is up and good. That puts Middletown behind 41-24. Gives Hamilton Big Blue the advantage and one step closer for their chances for a Division I playoff spot here in Region 4. Being a little more increased.
Especially with the Sycamore loss to Fairfield today and Lakota East losing Lakota West. This will it won't help them much, but it will improve their odds going into the final 2 weeks of the season.
We're going to get Joel on the horn throughout the week. He'll have our playoff, not projections. We don't project playoffs. He gives implications. He's not a big fan of that projections word because you're not going to project. You're going to imply because of what numbers are given to you.
He's got a very good point. Semantics are very much needed in today's world.
Yeah, he's not all into that prediction stuff. Because if you've got the numbers sitting in front of you, I don't blame him. He's going to say, look, these numbers have to happen for these teams to make the playoffs. I'd rather know what needs to happen for these teams to make the playoffs for me to actually guess on what's going to happen to make the playoffs. Here comes the kick from Hamilton to Middletown. Middletown's going to be moving from right to left on your radio device. Or your iPad or something, I don't know. That's Million. He takes that ball and takes it to the 37-yard line. Middletown's going to start there. Holding their head above water. That's how I'm going to describe it right now.
That's what Don will probably say in an interview, something similar. I hate to say that that's what he'll say, but that they're building, they're improving.
Right.
It's not going to be done overnight.
Right.
I mean, he's starting. I think what did he say? 9 new starters this year on offense.
Well, let's switch gears on Hamilton's side. Hamilton's side kind of took the foot, took the cleats, and stuck it on their throat at the end there.
Well, and then you got to look at it too from Hamilton's perspective is they're doing the same thing Middletown's doing. They're rebuilding a program.
Right.
and their playoff caliber or playoff, fringe playoff team within a year.
There's a throw to number 17 from
Middletown.
Kamari Fuller, and he got hit pretty good.
He got leveled over the middle. That's
second down and 10 at the 40-yard line is Middletown. A minute 10 left to play here. 41-24. We've seen a pretty good rendition of this Butler Bowl. Kamari Fuller tosses it over the right side. Caught. And we're going to give that a 4-yard gain from Middletown, and that brings it up to the 45-yard line of Middletown.
And we just got under a minute to go in the game.
For those of you listening, we want to thank you for tuning in to a live broadcast, radio broadcast on the Butler County High School Sports Report Radio Network. Log on to our website at bchssreport.com for some updates about tonight's action all around the county. Kamari Fuller's rolling out to the left side, nothing going, pushed out of bounds at the 47-yard line, and we'll call that a 2-yard gain. There's 38 seconds left to play. So I'm looking at it this way, Jake, kind of pushing ahead here. We're going to, and I hate to always say this, but we're going to give Hamilton the W. At Mason and at Lakota West, and looking at their schedule, no easy schedule in the GMC.
Well, and on top of that is the only other winless team in conference is not on their schedule this year, Oak Hills.
Right.
So they've actually probably got the hardest GMC schedule this year of any team in the GMC. If you look at their schedule, they probably do have the hardest schedule. They're the only ones not playing Oak Hills. Which puts every other team, because Joel said it 2 weeks ago, there's a very real possibility that the GMC puts 6 teams in Region 8.
Yep.
In Region 4 D1. So when you got 60% of your league going to the playoffs, it's a murderer's row to go through the schedule every week.
And it's also a testament to these teams, too. Kamari Fuller is sacked back at the 42-yard line, 44-yard line, and it's kind of a telltale sign of the second half. Timeout Middletown. They're going to prolong this fourth quarter here. You got Hamilton cleaning up shop here at the rest of the season, has Sycamore, and then also has Lakota East. They're hosting Sycamore next week, and they're traveling to Lakota East. Now, Lakota East Hamilton game is going to be a pretty good one. But Jake, I think you said you wanted to hit up that
Week 10 game,
Fairfield Colerain.
That's where I want to go. On Week 10.
You're there.
Next week, I haven't figured out where I wanted to go yet, but we'll see.
Haven't looked that far.
That Week 10 East Hamilton game does look enticing, but
well, I think there might be a little bit more on the line with that Fairfield Colerain game.
Hey, Colerain hasn't lost a conference game, and shoot, I was in my 20s when that happened.
Right. Well, and I don't know. I'm probably thinking that Coach Tom Bolden might have been in his. I think he's reached over 80 consecutive wins dating back to his time over at Colerain.
Swing pass out here to Josh Bryant. He's still fighting for yards and fighting for points, fighting for his team. And that's going to be the last play of the game, folks.
Yep. Beautifully played game by both squads. A lot of good sportsmanship. It was clean. Glad to see these programs get together, fight it out. Jake, I mean, we can probably summarize it as quick as we can. And like we were saying before, one of the 3 keys was to have Middletown stay a little more fatigued.
Yes.
And then Hamilton on the other end, just a little bit more experience in terms of just continuing momentum. Well, Jake, I appreciate you hanging out with me, man. Final score over here at Hamilton is, at Middletown here at Barnitz Stadium, at 41-24. Well, we'll be heading over to Monroe, just down the street. I wouldn't say down the street, but a little up more north here in Butler County, where Monroe is going to host Madison in a Southwestern Buckeye League Conference contest. Jake, appreciate it, brother. Thanks a lot,
Thank you, Chris.
man.
Yep. It was always a pleasure.
We'll be giving you the feedback on what happened tonight on the Butler County High School Sports Reports Radio Network, the website. You can check that out at bchssreport.com. Well, so long here from Barnitz Stadium, 41-24. Big Blue takes the cake.